radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. $225 days into the new year. Just 141 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world. All across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south. Far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? Yeah, man. Excited to be here. The show, and tonight we have very special guest, Dr. Christopher Macklin joins us for the first time. He's here to talk about the big ET conspiracy right now on planet Earth. The positive, the negative, little of both. Is it a little of both? Tonight we're going to find out. Tomorrow night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. My favorite night of the week. Besides tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin is here. Really looking forward to this conversation. So get ready for that. He will be with us at the bottom of the hour. All right. Rita and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in just a minute, but Rita and I have got a very, very busy next few days in front of us. Preparing the H Factor for its big premiere. And no resting around here. I'm going to be talking about that. We're not resting. Ain't no vacation time. Fade to Black. But get ready for that. Head over to the YouTube channel and for the Game Changer Network and subscribe to it and get ready. I heard mentions about some people say they can click on notifications. Others say that they can't. Something about adult content. And I don't know what. I have no idea. I have no idea what that's about. So we'll look into it. We're too busy. Just go and subscribe to the channel. We'll figure out this notification thing when we get some time. We'll look into it. Okay? All right. And we have a bunch of new sponsors here at Fade to Black, and I'll get to all of that in just a minute. But Carolyn Ford, everybody wants their own crystal skull. And, I've got crystal skulls here in the studio. This is Elvis right here. Look at Elvis. Look at this. Garnet. Unbelievable. This is from Carolyn Ford, too. This is pyrite. That's solid metal. This dude You know what, Rita, I gotta get it. He hasn't named himself. He hasn't named himself. He needs a name. You can get one just like this from Carolyn Ford. Look at that. Unbelievable. Carolyn Ford, Einstein, thecrystalskull.com. Want you to go and visit her website for the very, very best. The very best. The very best crystal skulls in the world, okay? And it's very simple to get to. Click on the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. Right now, Carolyn has a promo code for you Fadernauts. It is Jimmy. Simple enough, right? Jimmy. You will get 10% off of your first or next Crystal Skull order. 10% off. Go and do it today. Einstein, the Crystal Skull. We have banners over at jimmychurchradio.com too. You can go and check that out. Also, the Dark Zone Network's next event is the Lizzie Borden Murder House Live. It is going down in a couple of weeks, Friday, August 28th through Monday, August 31st. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 4-day live stream. You can check everything out right now over at thedarkzone.tv. Thedarkzone.tv. We have banners for that also over at jimmychurchradio.com. They got special discounted tickets right now, and you're going to want to go and hang out. I've got to go do a drive-by. I'll let you know if I do a drive-by there, and you can come and hang out with me a little bit. All right? All right. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Right? At JChurchRadio. Got to make up for all of those Twitter bots that got deleted from my account this week. Follow me at JChurchRadio. The Sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. We don't bite. Hashtag F2B on Twitter. Come and hang out with all of us. The Fadernauts and what goes down in the Sandbox each night. It's absolutely extraordinary. And if you want to see what's going on. And Kevin, let me say this. Kevin posts these screen grabs throughout the show, and you can check those out, what's going on here in the studio, right there on Twitter, hashtag F2B. But I'm going to say that, is that how good the bunker cam looks now? Look at that. High def. Man, I need to shave. See, I used to be able to get away with shaving with our old network, and not with this new streaming and these new cameras and this new software. I look, there it is. I don't know if we named that skull. He's beautiful though, isn't he? That's an incredible skull right there. Einstein, thecrystalskull.com. All right. Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Let's get to the breaking news. Lots of stuff to talk about today. The Milne Ice Shelf was Canada's last intact ice shelf, and it has just collapsed. It is no more. On July 30th and July 31st, the northern part of the Arctic ice shelf began to break off. A mass of ice measuring about 31 square miles, bigger than Manhattan, by the way, detached from the ice shelf and began drifting north. Representatives of the Water and Ice Research Laboratory at Charlton University in Ontario, Canada, said in a statement today. By August 3rd, the escaping ice island had split. One piece measured about 21 square miles, while the other one measured about 9 square miles, and both were about 230 to 260 feet thick. Located on the northwestern coast of Ellesmere Island in Nunavut, the Milne Ice Nunavut. It's not even Canadian. Nunavut. The Milne Ice Shelf is about 4,000 years old. Signs of the impending breakup were spotted by the Canadian Ice Service, Environment and Climate Change Canada, also known as the ECCC. On August 2nd, they shared satellite images in a tweet reporting that above normal air temperatures, offshore winds, and open water in front of the ice shelf are all part of the recipe for the ice shelf breakup. Unbelievable. Crazy images. Also, announced today, a Texas court has ordered Apple to pay more than $500 million in damages and interest for 4G patent infringements held by intellectual property company Panoptis. The U.S. tech giant, now worth almost $2 trillion, vowed to appeal Tuesday's decision. Panoptis, which specializes in licensing patents, took Apple to court in February last year, claiming it refused to pay for the use of 4G LTE technologies in its smartphones, tablets, and watches. Wow. I saw this today. The announcement. Pretty nuts. Sumner Redstone, one of the most powerful men here in Hollywood, who built a large media empire that would go on to become Viacom CBS, has died at the age of 97, which is inevitably going to lead to the reopening of a decades-long family feud over his money that has continuously plagued the Redstone family. The company's main assets include, check this, Paramount Pictures, Film and Television, CBS Entertainment Group, including all of the CBS television stations across the country, MTV, Nickelodeon, BET, Comedy Central, Showtime, Pluto TV, and 1,500 movie screens across the northeastern United States, the United Kingdom, Latin America, and Russia. Family feud. It's already started, by the way. Also announced today, Uber may need to shut down operations in California temporarily if a recent court order is upheld, classifying its workers as full-time employees. CEO Dara Khosrowshahi told MSNBC that the requirement would force Uber to cease operations in the state for several months to make the change. In the ruling from Monday, Superior Court Judge Ethan Schulman in San Francisco said that there was an overwhelming likelihood that Uber and its competitor Lyft had wrongly classed its drivers, the largest segment of their workforces, as contractors rather than full-time employees. Enforcement of the ruling was put off for 10 days pending appeal. As of today, check this. I bet you didn't even notice this went down. As of today, Disney has officially rebranded 20th Century Fox Television as, wait for it, 20th Century Television. No more Fox. The rebrand comes nearly 8 months after the film arm of 20th Century Fox was rebranded to 20th Century Studios after Disney's $71 billion acquisition, along with rebranding Fox Searchlight Studios to Searchlight Studios. It's also the latest step taken by Disney to distance itself from the remainder of the Fox Corporation following the acquisition, including Fox News and Fox Sports. The rebrands Disney announced included ABC Studios and ABC Signature Studios merging into ABC Signature, and Fox 21 Television Studios to Touchstone Television. Think about that. Now, before you stop and trip and go, well, it's not that big of a deal, you need to think about this. 20th Century Fox Television, we're talking about The Simpsons. Yeah, man. All that animation, all that programming, right? 20th Century Television. Now, I've already seen the logos. Fox is gone. I went over to Fox 21 Television Studios and even Wikipedia, right? You go there, and it takes you straight to Touchstone Television. It's crazy. It's crazy town. Here in Hollywood, when you know, all of the famous signs you drive around, they're all changing. Trippy. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, guitar god Mark Knopfler. Oh, yeah, guitar god, no doubt, is 71 years old. Also today, jazz great Pat Metheny is 66. Remember when Pat used to have that flowing hair, had those curly locks, playing that ES 175? Remember those days? Remember that? He looks a little different. But that guy, Pat Metheny, can shred. Today, he is 66. Our dead guy's birthday today is Buck Owens. 1929 to 2006, played that red, white, and blue Gibson. Died at the age of 77. From 1969 to 1986, Buck co-hosted the popular CBS television variety show Hee Haw with Roy Clark. He was the frontman for the Buck Owens and the Buckaroos, which had 21 number one hits on the Billboard country music charts. Buck died in his sleep of an apparent heart attack on March 25th, 2006, only hours after performing at his own club. Happy birthday, Buck Owens. On this day in history, on this day, OTD, way back in 30 BC. One of the most important days in history. Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt and lover of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, takes her life following the defeat of her forces against Octavian, the future first emperor of Rome. Okay, here's your fate or fact. And for everybody in Australia and New Zealand, that part of the world, this is for you. Because New Zealand has its own official wizard. His name, he was born Ian Brackenbury Chanel. He performed a successful rain dance during a drought. He did. So the Prime Minister of New Zealand named him the official wizard of New Zealand, Antarctica, and relevant offshore areas. That's right. And that is your fate or fact. You see what this dude looks like, too. He looks like a wizard. Looks like Gandalf. Tonight, very special guest, Dr. Christopher Macklin joins us for the first time. We're going to be talking about the worldwide ET conspiracy. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it a little bit of both? Tomorrow night is another Fader night with open lines all night long, and I look forward to talking with all of you. Right now, let me hit this River Moon coffee. Fade to Black blend. RiverMoonCoffee.com. F2B blends your promo code. 15% off of your order today. Got to get all that in. My picture's on the cover of on the bag. It's right there. River Moon Coffee. Fade to Black blend. Get yourself something. It's the best. It's the best. So, although I haven't mentioned too much about the coronavirus news over the last few months, today I thought I'd mention this. The numbers have finally started to level off and actually go down in some areas, both here in the United States and around the world. It was going to happen sooner or later, and let's all hope that the current trend continues and we can finally start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I truly mean that. But there's always a but. Here's the thing. It's not really the coronavirus or its dangers that are the real issues facing us. It's the economy. We are going to be looking at a few years, at least, to build back up to everything that the world has lost. I know. It's kind of a bummer. Next year, in 2021, I predict that there will be jobs everywhere. Everyone is going to be hiring. New companies will form and open. We're going to have new restaurants and stores and new airlines, new cruise lines, venues of every type and shape. It's going to be pretty cool. All right? so you can relax. But we can also do our part now. We can jump ahead of the curve. Here at Fade to Black in the Game Changer Network, we decided to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing right now. We decided to expand. We are investing. We are building. We are expanding on every front. We are supporting our sponsors in any way that we can. You can see that. You've seen it over the last several months. We've invested in our video, our audio, our network, our website. You can go over to the website right now and just look at everything that we have done. We have created a new website for the Game Changer Network. We have created, and the H Factor, we have created a new YouTube channel. We built a new studio, rebuilt everything in here, rewired everything in here, new computers, new cameras, new network. Okay? Here at Fade to Black, we could have done the opposite. We could have done the opposite. Out of fear or concern about where the world was headed or how it may affect our company directly, we could have done all of that. But no. We decided to make our own future and not let the virus or our nation's divided state of mind dictate our direction and our future plans. Most of the inevitable future events are completely out of our control. Like when will the virus finally go away? Right? When the economy is going to come back on track. That is out of our control. The outcome of the election in November, out of our control. The ongoing protests in this country and around the world, out of our control. It's out of our control. Why would we put life on hold or double back into a defensive position? Doesn't make any sense. What good would it do? It would do nothing. Eventually, things are going to be just fine and back to normal. But putting things off today will only put us behind the ball in the future. And the same thing goes for you. Think about it. At one point, it's going to be back to normal. And you're going to open up the door and you're going to be out there, in your coffee in the morning, in your robe, out of your slumber, right? Out of your hibernation. And you're going to go outside and you're going to be like, what's going on? What's going on? Cars are going to be rushing by you at 250 miles an hour. It's going to be a race. It's going to be blowing by. You just can't step out of your siesta and jump into that mess. You got to be running already. You got to warm up, man. You got to come out of the pits. You got to come out of the pits shifting gears so you can merge into traffic. You can't wait. We're not going to wait. We're not. We're going to continue to run. Think about this. Putting things off today will only put us behind the ball in the future. We're not going to do it. That's not how we roll around here. Far from it. This is the message that all of mass media should be saying right now. They should be part of this message. They should be relaying everything that I'm saying to you right now. It's the time to get back to reality. Treat life that way. Treat it that way. Just act like it's normal, because when it is normal, you're already going to be in the race. We should all consider the last 6 months as a little vacation, a reset of life. And sure, look, I get it. It may be tough for some who have endured real hardship. And I get that. I do. I understand. But what other choice do we have? We don't have one. The summer break is over, and now it's time for all of us to move ahead. Seriously, that's the way we are looking at it. There is no alternative. There is no other choice. When the gates open, When the gates open and everybody takes off running, you want to be right there. You want to be right there. Just start planning ahead right now. Don't wait. Don't wait any longer. Don't do it. Don't. You'll feel better. Positive. Doing things. Don't keep your head in the sand. Don't expect somebody else to fix it for you. Don't do it. And there are a lot of people out there, a lot, that are going, I'm getting an extra $600 a week, man. I haven't made this kind of money in a long time. This is great. Man, I don't know. I'm kind of cool right now. No. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great show tonight. Dr. Christopher Macklin is here. And then tomorrow night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Follow me right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. And I want you to get ready. Get over, subscribe to the Game Changer Network YouTube channel. Get over there and do it because we're getting really close to the premiere. We're going to bang this out, too, by the way. We're going to have quite a few episodes that are going to land back to back for the Age Factor. My email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Hashtag F2B on Twitter is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ on Twitter is Fade to Black Questions. I'll be right back with our guest, Dr. Christopher Macklin. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. The Dark Zone presents another epic live streaming event from America's most famous haunted crime scene, the Lizzie Borden Murder House. A 4-day live streaming event, August 28th through the 31st, 2020. Following the smash success of the first-of-its-kind live streaming event at the Conjuring House, the Dark Zone Network is proud to present a worldwide interactive live streaming event from the notorious double murder scene, the Lizzie Borden House in Fall River, Massachusetts. This is the perfect warm-up for Halloween. Full access to the continuous around-the-clock 4-day event is just $19.99. Discounted tickets are on sale now, and you can check out the free preview on Thursday, August 27th. For more information and to watch the Lizzie Borden Murder House live, please visit thedarkzone.tv or just click on the banners at jimmychurchradio.com. That's www.thedarkzone.tv.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, very special guest, Dr. Christopher Macklin joins us for the first time here on the show. Tomorrow night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Tonight, Dr. Macklin. We're going to be discussing a full range of ET and UFO issues, including ET governments that are working with the U.S. and other governments to experiment on humanity and control the Earth. Starseed ET races and how they are connected to humanity. Positive and negative ET races that are on our planet right now. And who the angels are and why they are present on this earth and in other dimensions. Dr. Macklin is an interfaith minister with the Esoteric Church and has a PH.D. in Metaphysics and Philosophy. I would like to welcome for the first time to Fade to Black, Dr. Christopher Macklin. Chris, may I call you Chris? And good evening and welcome.
You can, Jimmy. Thank you for having me on your show. Bless your heart. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, yay. Yeah, definitely. And you get the first-time guest disclaimer. Next time you're on the show, you're not going to get it. You get it tonight, so enjoy it. And it's this. It's just you and I, Dr. Macklin, sitting on my couch having a conversation as friends. And where that conversation starts, it starts. Where it ends. But we're going to end as friends. There you go. You ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we have so many different things that we are going to talk about tonight. But I'm actually going to start here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your past, and we'll jump in. But these last couple of years have been, when it comes to UFOs, UAPs, ET, and the consideration of visitation on this planet, the mass media has decided for the first time ever to go and run with it and not necessarily tease our community, actually embrace what is going on. What do you think the reasons for that is?
Well, I think there's becoming a massive change. And of course, ETs have been helping us. The benevolent ones have been helping us for a long time. And I think what's happened is there's more help, because obviously the timelines we're on is not the best. I mean, this world, if you think about it, compared with 20 years ago, is kind of just, you can't even understand it anymore because it's nuts, and I think it's changed so much. So because of the timelines and what's happening and separation and all the things that happen in the world, I think, the ETs are trying to really help us, because it could go pretty pear-shaped if they didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's hope it doesn't go pear-shaped. That's.
I know.
Yeah, right. I've never quite heard it put that way, but yeah, let's don't go pear-shaped. The interest for you, when did that start? Was it a childhood thing? Did you have a sighting? Did you have crazy parents? What happened?
Well, My parents were very normal. My father was an accountant. How exciting. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. And I was born, my mother was abducted to get me here because I was born as a Melchizedek being. So I've got a high percentage of Melchizedek DNA. So that's one story. So you get here, you see things very differently. I could see ships in the sky. I can see through the veil. And I remember one night, the first night I really, really felt this was when I was 4. And I was lying in bed, and a reptilian came into my room. And I realized it was an Anunnaki, being. They tend to be pretty tall, something like between 8 and 12 feet. They live over 1,000 years. They live a lot longer than us. And the thing was in my room. But what was interesting about that first experience is the dark feeling I had, like, oh, this is kind of not good. And when I was first born, by the way, I had 8 strokes. So they tried to attack me when I was born. I had 8 strokes and got through that as a baby. And different things have happened during my life. But at this age of 4, I thought, well, what do I do? Dad, there's a reptilian room. He comes running up. It's a bad dream. But it's there.
Right.
And I could see it, but he couldn't, of course. And so, it's a bad dream. Just go to your bed. And the thing didn't go. It was standing there. So, okay, so he left. And after a while, I got to learn to manage them. And I said, right, get out of my room right now. And even at the age of 4, I realized that if I didn't get out of my room, we were going to have a problem. Because, if I kept calling him up saying, Dad, there's a reptilian, he would take you to the doctors, put you on some daft medication to numb you down, and then you're toast. So I learned, even at the age of 4, I realized I've got to do something about this. So it left. Yay. And then, of course, different, beings came back. I saw a draconian in my room once. We moved that, and I realized that I could see ships. Oh, Dad, there's a ship in the sky. Oh, God, he's at it again. The guy's nuts. And I wasn't, because I can still see ships to this day. I can see beings attached to people. But I've learned because it's a gift, you can switch gifts on or off. So, if you go out to a restaurant, you don't want to see reptilian stuff attached to people and things going on. You just want to go in, have a nice dinner, and ignore the stuff. So
it reminds me of the film They Live, right? And putting on the glasses, and then you suddenly see that half of the people on the street are an ET invasion force, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. You take the glasses off, and you're not feeling so uncomfortable. Now, let me ask you this. When you're looking through the veil and you're seeing ships, are these physical only for you? Or if somebody is standing with you, can they see the ships as well?
Sometimes they can, and sometimes they can't. It depends whether they're interdimensional ships, but I can see them. I think it's because I can see through the veil and see the formation of the ship, its energy, because everything's energy, of course. And so I have the gift of that. Some are round, some are triangular. There's different shapes. Some are built like clouds. It depends, I think on which race has which ship.
As you describe this, because I've been witness to, I'm not going to go through everything right now, but I've been witness to hundreds of sightings, and probably a dozen or so of those were absolutely incredible, but they were always with large groups of people. We were able to witness them together, some of them really extraordinary. But some of these, even though they were witnessed by lots of people, phased in and out, where we're watching them appear and disappear in front of us, which would indicate to me, and I'm no physicist, but it seems to be something interdimensional or going through some type of parallel dimension and coming into this one and then leaving once again. Is that what you're seeing too as well?
Yeah, they can physicalize I think they do it for certain people. I mean, if you think about it, there's a kind of law in the universe that, for example, if you have a being turn up, like, an angelic being, they won't turn up physically if they're going to scare you to death, because it's just not useful for you or the being, because they're not going to get the message across. So they only turn up for certain people, and other people who are kind of dumbed down and don't get it. If they turned up and got over their car, they go, oh my God, and they would freak out. So it tends to be, they tend to materialize, I think, with people who are I'm not going to say evolved, but people who are sovereign within themselves, who have an inner strength that, wow, yeah, there they are,
Well, let me ask you this. Rita and I, my wife, we're driving in the car, and we're in the middle of a very busy street, middle of the day. Let's say it's 12 noon. We're stopped in traffic at a stoplight, and Rita yells out, and she doesn't do this, okay? It was a very unique experience. She yells out, there's a glass ship right there. And I leaned forward. Now traffic is moving. Now I have to drive, right? I can't. Right? So I'm driving. I look. I don't see anything. She looks out the back window, or the side window, looks out towards the back of the car, and she's like, there it goes. Well, as we're driving, she describes it, and she was like, it was right there. You were looking at it. I didn't see it. And she described it as a clear disc that was above the car. Clear, like glass, with lights in it. I didn't see it. And it was there. Apparently, it was there for her. It wasn't intended for me. And I looked instantly, Chris. When she said it, I looked. I didn't see anything. And so when I hear you say things like that, as incredible as it may sound, well, when my wife experiences that with me, I have to listen to what you're saying, and I think everybody else should too.
Yeah. I mean, it is for certain people, but I think, if she saw it as glass, the fact is most of them are solid. I mean, these crafts are very biological, and they work on consciousness as well. So I think maybe it just came into this dimension enough so she could see it, but not too much so other people can't see it. They're very careful about what they do. It's very interesting.
Yes, and I can't explain it. I am trying my best to figure out what is going on. And this life of contact for you sounds like it's ongoing to this day. You can go outside, you can go out tonight, and you can make contact, can't you?
Oh, yeah, I can see them. I mean, not every night to see them. And also, I'm very connected to, I was born of one of 5 Melchizedek beings, and if you know what it is, it's okay. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. But
I do.
Yeah, so I was born of 5 Melchizedek beings. We chair the Galactic Federation, and very often they take me, sometimes physically, sometimes not, and to sit in the Galactic Federation and decide what to do about certain instruments. And the reason why they do that, the reason why they got the Galactic Federation is because this world is about free will. Now, they knew a long time ago with Prime Creator Melchizedek, they developed the Akashic Records because one of the things, and it's a really good instrument, the Akashic Records, let me tell you, because otherwise this world would be in a mess. So they knew that they'd have technology to be able to go back in time. So all the timelines that you could be on have already happened. So if you go back, for example, on the timeline we're on, and you go back in time, take Hitler, for example. So go back in time, let's take Hitler out. So they look at the other timeline, but that has already happened, so you can't change other timelines from this timeline. So it stops them from messing about with space-time continuum. If not, this planet would be, the third dimensional world would be an absolute mess.
So explain that a bit further. When you say sometimes it's physical and other times it is not, where they come and get you, what do you, how do, I mean, I just had Barry Littleton on the show, somebody I respect a lot. I like Barry quite a bit. And he definitely is having experiences very similar to your own. And I've never had that type of experience. But when you say it's physical, how does that happen?
Well, basically, you kind of black out and you end up on a ship, and these ships, like I say, are about consciousness. They're way bigger inside than they look because, it's about consciousness. And so, if you walk into another room, it could be the size of a football field, but the ship looks only, 50 meters wide. So, there's obviously an interdimensional aspect and a consciousness aspect about going through different rooms, but they can take you. Most of the time, they take the soul, not the actual body. But if they take the soul, what happens is you can basically you collapse and you're out of it for I don't know 10 minutes. Because don't forget, you go into a different time space. There is no time, so you can be there like 2 days, and it feels like 10 minutes. So and I've actually done that with my wife one night. Normally they give me like 5 minutes notice. Okay, we're going to take you. So I run on and get on the bed, and you're gone, and you come back 10 minutes later. But this one time they wanted me to go straight away, so I didn't get to the bed. I was collapsed on the floor, and she goes, "Oh my God, he's had a stroke." And I was just gone. It's basically astral. They're taking the astral body, which is, really, what is this vessel? It's just a vehicle to navigate this third dimensional world. But I was passed out on the floor for about 10 minutes, and she's like, "Oh, hang on a minute, he's gone to the Federation. He'll be back." And sure enough, wake up. But even if you astrally go or physically go, when you come back, because these craft go so fast, you feel like you've been beaten with a baseball bat. My whole back aches like, oh, wow, You can feel as you've been somewhere, and that's how you can tell.
What's the agenda on this ship?
What's the agenda?
Yeah. Are you there for a reason? Are they showing you stuff? Can you ask questions? Is it something more formal? What happens?
It's a kind of meeting, and and I'll give you an example. If we take the Zeta Gray aliens, they've screwed over their planet. They can't reproduce, and they had problems. So we all know this. You guys in the community, came and saw Hitler, did a deal with him, technology for let's steal people so we can take their eggs and sperm. So they did that deal then, and then it transferred obviously to America, and now it's happening. Abductions are happening all over the world. And the treaty has been signed. So basically, their agenda is, let's steal eggs and sperm, and here's some technology. Now, it's like giving, a 5-year-old the keys to a Ferrari. It's not a good idea. If you look at the change in technology between, say, even when I was doing a master's in control and software systems, the computers were like archaic, and the stuff you get today is just like, wow. So I think, you can't say that this is not alien technology, and it's been proven, like certain diseases. If you think about it, look at the Native Americans. There's enough stuff on this planet to heal, let's rephrase that. There's enough like herbs and bark and different things on this planet to heal anything, any problems that the planet has with, any illness. But if you bring stuff from another planet down here, then you've got a problem because, hey, we haven't got the herbs, we haven't got the bark, we haven't got the different instruments to get rid of those diseases. And that's exactly what they've done.
The other part of it, when we say agreements made between them, we've heard about different treaties and different agreements over the years, and it's been discussed a lot on this program and others. But when we talk about this, are those agreements good, or are they bad?
Well, don't forget, there's different types of. Again, it depends what you define as an alien. I think that all these bioweapons are alien technology. Nanotechnology. I've dealt a lot with it. I've dealt with a world-leading scientist who actually is a expert witness against the United Nations and different things. She's absolutely top of the game. When she talks to you, she's okay, because But the woman's right up there on her game. She's dealt with Morgellons. She's dealt with, even this COVID-19. She's dealt with all these things. So they are alien bioweapons. Is there, is an antidote for them? No. They think they've got something for the coronavirus, but the coronavirus is manufactured, and they've spent 30 years. It's just the flu, but they've spent 30 years trying to get rid of it, and they can't. So, and the same with, Lyme disease. There's no cure for that. The same with HIV/AIDS. No cure for that. Agent Orange, manufactured from, they're all stealth pathogens. And now we've got, of course, Morgellons, which I've dealt with for the last 10 years, which is horrific. If that gets in your body, and your DNA is not robust against it, it replicates and it grows through your body. And people think it's a retrovirus. Well, I understand why they see that, but it's nanobots. And I talked to Dr. Hildy one day, and I said to her, I'm kind of overwhelmed. She says, why is that? I said, not for the fact of what the stuff is, but the fact that anyone could ever create it, because I call it live dead stuff. It's got no soul, but it's a robotic system 10 to the minus 9 small that's got intelligence, and it talks to all the other robotic things in your body and starts to grow through your body. It starts to replicate, and it uses your energy, your body, to keep itself alive. It's just kind of horrific.
Well, you mentioned the Anunnaki at the beginning of the show tonight. How long has, there's been so many different races and civilizations visiting this planet, but how long have they been steering governments and tribes for their own use? Has it been going on for 5, 10, 50,000 years, 100,000 years? How long?
I see since the Babylonian times, that's when things started to shift, because, you can see a big shift in the planet. Since Babylonian times, there was then, as you move forward, becomes the Roman Empire. It was all about control. And the Roman Empire is still here. We call it the Illuminati. We call it whatever you want, Cabal. It's the Roman Empire, and the head of it is obviously the Vatican, Queen of England. They're all connected to it. It's just as the Anunnaki. It's not just the reptilians. It's also Draconians. You've got the Archon Covenant, and you've also got, which is the biggie, the Luciferians, which are actually pretty snarly beings. So you've got all these races working together with the governments, and I'm not saying the governments, because some governments might be good or bad. It's up to you, and I don't get into politics because, to be honest, it's the big families that run this world, nothing to do with the governments. But hey, so I think they're working with the deep state people, the negative people on this planet, to start getting control in.
Now, you just mentioned the Archon Covenant. What is that?
Well, it's basically, it's a whole covenant that it's like a ritual they have in Bohemian Grove to focus on, right, on the planet, keep the people sick, give them pills, make sure they have no money, so, make sure they're really stressed, and control the media and tell them nonsense. And, they're actually doing a great job of it at the moment. And, it's kind of sad to watch, because I never watch the news. I never take pills. Even vaccines, they've got fetal tissue, they've got mercury, they've got all this stuff in. There's so many things that are kind of wonked with this planet. You kind of wonder, okay, where do we start? And I think we start at, getting, my opinion is getting back to your sovereign self and getting an inner strength to be able to take on stuff. We have a huge project coming off. We'll talk about that later if you want. But it's a huge project, and it's to help people get back to their sovereign selves. The day of the guru's over, the day of, you can have a teacher, or you can have people to help you facilitate your healing, but, it's not about control. And I think, there's a lot of New Age stuff being hijacked because of the Cabal, or the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it.
Well, and what's really strange, I want to talk about Luciferians here briefly, too, before the break. All of that New Agey stuff, that going back to, 1969, 1970, when it really started to, take hold and spread, a lot of the status quo, the majority of the planet kind of laughed. And here we are today, everything, because the New Agey stuff, which folded over into different conspiracy theories and UFOs and ufology and spread out from there. But everything that community, us, was warning the world about is happening right now. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
you didn't listen.
Yeah. It's really, really funny.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah.
Everyone's going, oh, my God, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I mean, oh, my goodness. I mean, I can't believe what's going on. They've shut a whole planet down from such in my opinion, again, but it's a pile of nonsense,
Well,
it really is.
Now, the Archon Covenant sounds very Luciferian to me. Are those two groups related?
Oh yeah, the Archons, Luciferians, Anunnaki, Draconians, they're all working together. I mean, the Queen of England, you may realize or not, is a reptilian creature who basically shapeshifts into a woman with a handbag, But we have a map of intent that and I always encourage people, if you get that if you see someone in the street, you think, wow, this person's really dark. Check they're not a reptilian or and so we always have a map of intent. I don't like to call them prayers, but it's a map of intent. And it's basically, you say it and look at the person. They can't hide from that map of intent. You'll see a overlay of their shape, like a light overlay, like a opaque overlay of their actual true nature. And this is a very good instrument to realize if someone's reptilian or not, because you can't tell otherwise.
Wait a minute. Do you have that ability?
Everyone has the ability. All you have to do is, if I can tell you the map of intent, it's a prayer, but it's a map of intent. So it goes like this. So if you feel, feel that darkness, oh, wow, there's something wrong with this person. So look at the person, ground yourself. And I'm going to, instead of the word God, I'm going to use prime creator because it's neutral, I believe in one prime creator, many paths. So what you have to say is, I am of prime creator. I ground myself to the earth. Okay, and look at the person and say it with authority. Dear prime creator, I command that you show this person in their true form, and I thank you, prime creator, send you my unconditional love. And I'll tell you, if you look at them, you'll see, if they're reptilian, you'll see like an opaque overlay. They cannot hide from that instrument.
Is that right?
Yeah, try it.
I'm going to.
Next time, Jimmy, next time you see the Queen of England.
I'm more worried about what my wife is going to see the next time she looks at me. That's what I'm a little nervous about. But if you do, okay, let's say you have a dinner party, Chris, at your house. You invite 10, 20 people over, and you do this, and you practice the instrument on your room of guests. Are you going to be surprised?
Oh, yeah. To be honest, if you came to our house, we have very few friends. I'm very close to family, but, the problem is with doing this work, and I work 12 hours a day on healings. We do 56,000 healing sessions a year. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting, but when people are close to you, I only have people who are close who I can feel comfortable with because I need to stay in this space so you can still do the healings and still see the stuff and go to the Galactic Federation and do all the things I do. We even police space-time continuum because I remember going to a conference and they had Tesla lights. Have you heard of Tesla lights? They're like high tension tubes and, you lie between them. And I pulled this guy over and said, look, they were saying these are bad news. Okay, why are they? Well, basically these Tesla lights can open 7 million portals an hour. So if you leave them on all day, imagine how many portals. Now, the problem is, this third-dimensional world is like a football. So we're inside the football. If you start sticking enough holes in the football, the air's going to change, and it'll change the time-space continuum. So it's one of my jobs to shut portals periodically. It's one of my jobs to clear the crystalline structure around the planet because there's so much angstiness in the planet. It gets in the crystalline structure, and people start feeling this overwhelming despair and commit suicide. So, we go with the Arcturians. Sometimes I physically go, sometimes I don't. And they clear the crystalline structure, the grid that we used to use for telepathy and everything around the planet so it doesn't have this overwhelming despair of energy.
Now, we need to take a break right here, Chris. When we come back, if I give you a name of a friend of mine, could you tell me if he's reptilian or not? Let's take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin. We are talking about the ET situation right now on planet Earth. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it a little bit of both? Who's here to help us? What can we do about it? Everything is on the table. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. More with Dr. Macklin after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein the Ancient Crystal Skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin joins us, talking about the big ET conspiracy going on right now. Positive, negative, maybe a little bit of both. Who is helping us? All of that stuff. And you can go to Dr. Macklin's website. It's globalenlightenmentproject.com. The links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. Now, Dr. Macklin, Chris, I've got two friends, Mark and Eric, definitely reptilian. Definitely. I've been suspecting this for a long time. I need to practice the instrument.
Yeah, so just do that. I mean, if you go on the website, you can see the prayer. I mean, we use the word God. People get funny about God because, well, I'm not calling God, and at the moment, Prime Creator, I think, actually couldn't care less because there's so much happening. If you use God, Prime Creator, all that is holy, Yilahem Yahweh. The fact is, if you're doing stuff, then I think it really helps. And but don't forget, there are good reptilians as well. There's benevolent Anunnaki as well as dark ones. It's like with Hitler. If you think about it, you look at Hitler and you look at his soldiers, the Nazis. Not all of them were satanic and bad. It was just they were ruled by a really crazy regime that will shoot you if you step out of line. So they were ruled out of fear. And I think that's what happens with some of the races of reptilians. They're ruled out of fear, just like humans. I mean, look at the fear in this world at the moment. It gets overwhelming. And like I say, we're really keen on taking care of the crystal grid around the planet, because if that fills up with too much negative energy, it can actually really, really get people to commit suicide. They just get overwhelmed, and it becomes complete despair, and I'm done with this place and I'm out of it. And you can kind of understand it. I always give an analogy like this. I always think of humanity. They're in a swimming pool, we're all in a swimming pool, and they're pooing and weeing. Would you want to dive into that? Probably not. So my advice is always stay on the periphery of this matrix. Don't dive into that swimming pool with a poo and wee, because you're going to get contaminated. If you stay on the side and actually work on yourself and get yourself back to this high vibrational sovereign self where you're leaping out of bed in the morning and, oh my God, I feel incredible. And you do find your passion. Everyone's got gifts. If you find your passion, then you can actually move forward with this inner strength. I'm going to help people. Without taking on that energy. And I think that's really important, especially at this time. It's kind of crazy.
The representation and relationships with these off-world entities and civilizations, is it every state actor? Is it every government, every country on the planet?
Most governments have signed up for it.
Yeah.
Is what I feel. And I think, because you get abductions all over the world. When we had the meeting, it was June. I think it was 3 years ago in June. They called us for a meeting really quick. I think that was the time I was collapsed or something, because I was out of it. And, I was gone out of it for 10 minutes. And, Mandy, oh my God, oh, hang on. He's gone to the Galactic Federation. And we sat there and think about this, this is a free world. It's a free will world. Do what you like. If you want to rob a bank, you'll get put in jail. If you want to do stuff for humanity and do great things, you'll do great things, and you'll feel blessed. And there's so many different things you can do. The Akashic records have got infinite timelines in front of you. And my advice is always to people: go on the divine timeline where you've got like a passion for something, and you're going to do work that's going to be service to other people, not service to self. And I think that's really important. But yeah, I think these timelines can change in an instant. But also there's a collective timeline, and the one we're on at the moment is not the best. And how can you shut it, like say, a whole world down with fear? The things are made up. Like I say, I know a lot about this because. And I never go on blah, blah, blah. I call it blah, blah, blah. We talked about that before. It's called BS, but blah, blah, blah. I never talk blah, blah, blah. I always look at facts. And like I say, with this world-leading scientist who looks at stuff under a microscope, can identify it, hers is the only test for Lyme disease which is actually accurate. If you go to the doctors, they'll take like a bit of blood, and they'll put it under the thing, and, oh, have you got any co-infections, Lyme disease? Well, if you think about this, there's many co-infections. So if Babesia bartonella aren't in your system, but you've got Epstein-Barr herpes that day because your autoimmune's taking care of it just about, they don't see it. Then, oh, you haven't got Lyme disease, but you have, because these things, the stealth pathogens live in the cells, so you can't see them. So, she does a different test. She'll send you like a patch, you stick it on the crack of your bum, wear it for 10 hours, send it to her. She'll get the cells off and look inside. Oh, that's what's in your body. and it's a true, thing. So,
what happened at the meeting 3 years ago?
Right. So what we were looking at is, there's been reptilians for many thousand years. When you come down here, you know that there's going to be reptilians that are in a different dimension. They can attach to you. How many people, when I do healing sessions, is there an attachment of some sort? It could be reptilian, like Anunnaki, Draconian. It can be a snake-type being. It could be different things. And, so what we looked at is the difference, and we were talking about the greys because we needed to sweep the greys off the planet because, we're trying to think, okay, is it violation or education? Now, if you get an attachment, before you come here that there's these things can attach you. So you've got to learn about them, and it's a growth process of being in a classroom. Now, with the Zeta Greys, if they steal your body and knock you out and then take you up on a ship and take out your sperm or, steal the eggs off a woman, that's a complete violation, and that's not okay. So they got swept off the planet 3 years ago. That's why you don't see many of them now.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. The Arcturians swept them off the planet. And it's not happened for eons. But like I say, if it's violating humanity, it's a violation. But there's a close call. I don't think you can understand that between kind of violation and education. We come here, we're being educated, we're growing spiritually. Oh, God, that was no good. Oh, blimey, I had a reptilian attachment. I had a snake being somewhere. Or someone was doing spells, curses. We know all this stuff's here before we come here. So the education is get on this planet, go in your classroom, and let's learn about it and evolve and get your vibration up beyond, these things so that they can't attach to you. If you get your vibration up, an Anunnaki, a low vibrational Anunnaki cannot attach to you. Now, the only thing about the Greys is what they're doing now is really crafty. They're actually coming through portals. So they'll open a portal. They're not coming to this dimension. They'll stay within the portal, which is in a different dimension. So they're kind of, they're not violating the rules because they're kind of not here anymore, but they are, And what's interesting, I've had a lot of people, I work with people all the time who have portals. And the thing is about Greys is they smell like drain. So I remember a lady, she had a portal, a Zeta Grey portal, in a bathroom. And she had the plumber, God, and it feels very dark in there and everything else. So immediately I said, does it smell of drain? Oh, yeah. And the plumber can't find it. I said, he won't. It's coming out the Zeta Grey portal. Shut the portal. It was gone. And, I see this a lot. I've had houses that have been on burial grounds for, Native Americans. And they've refurbed, this particular lady, she flipped houses. So what happened is breaking the plumbing, stuff was happening, and things were thrown around because the Native Americans are fed up because you built a house on their sacred land. And then, of course, because of the negative energies, you've got reptilians like Draconians, and Luciferians there also messing about. So it took me 2 hours to clear that. I think she had 700 and something, I can't remember exactly now, 700 odd slaughtered in that place underneath that house. So what we do is, do a little ceremony and thank them for their participation in this journey and bless them on their journey and get them Melchizedek beings to escort them into the fifth dimension. They can move on with their spiritual growth. Because, again, if they're there here being peaceful, that's okay. Because they used to take a kind of covenant that they don't want to leave. They want to look after their land, so they're staying between worlds as a spirit here, which is fine. As long as they don't get feisty. If they get feisty, it's not good for the person who's living in the house, and it's not good for the Native American either. So then I always asked the Melchizedek beings, can we escort them over the other side? Yep. So we moved them on the other side, and off they went. So it cleared.
You said it was grain, right? Like wheat? When you said grain?
No, Greys.
No, you said they smelled like...
Oh, drain, sorry. Yeah, drain, like toilet drain.
Oh, they smell like...
Sewer.
Oh.
Sewer.
I thought they smelled like beer. Okay. Okay, I get it. Like like a sewer.
Yeah, I should have said sewer.
Okay, I got you. Now, let's back up for a second. When you mentioned the Prime Creator, and I like that, I could almost stay on this subject for the rest of the show for a lot of different reasons. But my first question is this. Prime Creator here, is it the same Prime Creator for a galaxy that is 500 million light years away at the center of the universe?
Well, there's only one prime creator, but there's help. You know, the Melchizedek beings helped with this third dimensional world with the prime creator to create an instrument where people could have a experience like a classroom. So again, you know, if you look at prime creator, the Melchizedek beings had a hand in it, so they're kind of part as well as the prime creator. But you know, again, it's my belief there's only one prime creator, and it's everywhere. You know, God is God or prime creator is everywhere in everything.
Well, and so my point is that I'm trying to make or trying to figure out is we're visited, right? Crafts in the sky, beings in front of us, and what have you. My prime creator, your prime creator, is their prime creator as well, right?
Correct, yeah. But, you know, if you're, you know, for example, if the human beings have been spliced with 59 DNA from the creator gods, in quote, you know, the benevolent beings who wanted to create a race, you know, of love and different things, then our prime creator is still prime creator of all it is, but they engineered us with permissions from prime creator to put us on this planet. You know, we start somewhere.
Now, right now, you're here in the United States. What state are you living in?
I live in Missouri, you know.
You live in Missouri. Okay, so the big highway, what's the big freeway that goes through Missouri? Is it the 40? Does the 40?
Yeah, I think it's 40. It goes from Kansas City through, and then we've got a highway.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you're stuck in traffic on the 40, right? And a giant interstellar ship appears, lands on the freeway, right in front of you. What would you expect to step off of the steps? Who is it that we would see? What would the world see first?
I think it depends what race is there. If it's draconians, you're going to see a reptilian thing. If it's benevolent beings like Arcturians, you're going to see very light-haired beings with blue eyes. You know, it depends what race it is, but they'll look different.
No, I suppose what I'm asking, I understand that part, but who would you expect to step off? Who would reveal themselves first? Because it's going to happen, Chris. We know this. It's just a matter of time.
I've got a feeling the Palladians are going to actually reveal themselves first.
Really? And why is that? And that would be cool. We wouldn't freak out too much, would we?
No, they're not. They don't look unlike us. I think it's because they do a lot of work down here. They've got ships and stuff that are actually policing different areas and actually getting involved. They're the ones that, you know, paralyze the nuclear weapons and things when, you know, we get all daft with them.
Right.
And they think you're going to press the button. So they're the ones paralyzing that. You know, as a Melchizedek being, I don't really know that, but I work, the Arcturians work very closely with us because we're just very close from ancient history. And I have 3 watchers waiting and watching us, 3 watchers. And whenever, you know, I do things that, you know, look a bit hairy and, you know, they just appear, you know, as 3 of them, 3 circular discs.
Now, can they change their appearance to make us more comfortable?
Yeah, they can. Obviously, they're interdimensional beings. They can morph into something slightly different, for sure. I mean, Palladians are our cousins, of course. So
right.
That's why I think they look close to us. That's why I think they're going to be here first.
The thought when I go down this road, and I've been researching this, as you know, I've been researching this for years, and I'm fascinated with it, is that the more that I look at it, I have to consider that we look at ourselves as humans, right? Homo sapiens on this planet, all right? And that's great. But we can all, I mean, we're actually aliens, right?
Well,
you know what I mean? And the way that I want to go back to the Anunnaki for just a bit. Homo sapiens 200,000 years ago, poof, we just appeared here, right? We just appeared. There was no Homo sapien before. Anthropologists can argue with me all day long about this, but the facts are the facts. we just appeared here 200,000 years ago. Was that alien intervention? Was that some gene splicing?
Absolutely.
200,000 years ago?
Yeah. I think, that's why Palladian's our cousin. We have a lot of Palladian DNA in us. And I think, I call them creator gods. The creator gods of the human race, the Palladians, Arcturians, Sumerians. And, they put all their DNA together to create a being to put down here. So for sure, we were probably bought by ship, put down here, and off you go.
Are you okay with that?
Am I okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, does it make you feel uncomfortable? It goes against the dogma that we're taught in school, certainly.
Well, yeah. I mean, but everything's dogma. You look at even Christianity, all the things, everything's been hijacked, And I think there's a lot of dogma down here. I'm okay with it. I mean, I've got over 80% Melchizedek DNA. I've got some interesting things about my body. I have a lot of cysts on my head, and they're all connected together, and it's like a network of things. And it's a pain in the neck because sometimes if they get too big, I get them cut off. And last time I got a couple cut off, they said, "Oh my God, these are connected together." Oh, long story. He was actually blown away, and the material that came out, he sent to the lab, and I never ever let people send my body stuff to the lab because it's not okay. And he sent to the lab. He goes, "Oh my God, this is a really unusual thing. It's like a cyst, but it's like, I forgot what he called it, but he said I've never seen one before. So there's some interesting things. It's like a network to help disperse the energy from the crown chakra."
Now, when we're going to come back to that. That is very interesting. But you mentioned free will. And the reason why I'm bringing up, the prime creator and free will and things, because I also look at the science of this, and I listen to different physicists around the world where and this is what is amazing to me, the scientific community, how they've gone either agnostic or completely atheist. And there's no spiritual side. Consciousness is something that they really don't want to discuss, even though they know that they are able to think. And then they go into the free will discussion and that everything is determined. There is no free will. It's fascinating to me where they want to stay on this path of nothing happening in the world, right? That everything is determined. There is no spirituality. There is no life after death. There is nothing to ponder here. But there is parallel worlds in a multiverse, right? It's they want to have it both ways, don't they?
Well, exactly. And, and there is obviously soul recycling. You go up, you have your life review, you come back, If you're a starseed, you volunteered, you get in queues. I'll volunteer to come down, and you get down and you think, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? but then you get over yourself and you learn to grow and everything else. But I agree with you. I think a lot of these people, they don't believe in God anymore and all this sort of thing. They don't believe in anything because I think sometimes, I don't know, science doesn't give them all the answers at all.
No, they're out there asking questions. They know that DNA is a friggin' miracle. Right? They know this, that it's an impossibility to happen naturally. But to suggest a prime creator or something else coming into play to help this along, that's where they draw the line. But eventually, do you think that physics, astrophysics, quantum physics, and spirituality are going to end up crashing head on, that it's inevitable?
I think it'll evolve. I think people are waking up to the fact that a lot of it's consciousness. You create your reality, and it's all about consciousness. This whole vibration and surreal world. It's like when you go in a ship. If I'm going to go to the toilet, and you go through a door and the thing's huge or whatever. Like I say, when you look at the ship, it's like small. Well, how do they fit all this stuff in? And the answer is they don't. It's all about consciousness and stepping into different levels of consciousness. And I think that's the same down here. We're evolving, but to me, there's got to be some instrument, something behind all this that created the whole thing or started it off.
Now,
and that's what I've.
Well, when we come back after the break, I'm going to touch upon this now, and we'll set this up for the return. Is that if if all of these negative forces are out there pushing governments around and guiding this planet with the way that they want to do things, there must be something out there observing this and trying to affect change. But it seems like the dark side has been winning the war, Chris.
Well, I think they have. One of the big instruments about this is this. Because it's a third dimensional world, that's why they've got a lot of starseed. You know, I'm a starseed, my wife's a starseed. There's lots of Palladian starseed. There's lots of different people come down here because it's their job. Because they're now part of this humanity race, it's their job to actually wake up and pull from the ethers help down here. Because if they're not here, no one can intervene because there's very strict rules for this third dimensional world. Can't intervene unless they're asked. And, you know, it's so specific. The universe is so specific. You know, again, it comes back to manifestation. We want help down here, so they'll come. They'll do stuff. And that's what I've been doing. You know, we did a God ceremony about, I think it was 5-6 weeks ago. We had 1,000 people online. And it was basically going through all the things, dear God, Goddess, Prime Creator, you know, we bring before you now. We went through 14 different groups, you know, from Gates Foundation, you know, CDC, everything you think of, deep state government. We went through them all, talked to them. There was 1,000 people. It was very, very powerful because by doing that instrument, what you're doing is saying, hey, guys, up there, let's get down here. Let's do some stuff. And I know it's working. You know, I really know it's working. And the more people we get online to do that, the better, you know.
There is something about not only doing that, but, and I'm convinced, mass meditations, entanglement, and the connected universe is something that is part of our reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's part of it. And the more that you are focused with other groups and other people, that is combined. And the power of the internet, Chris, and I'm being very serious about this right now. This audience is big, and they're all connected right now. We are all vibing together, and not to get all woo-woo and weirded out, but it's science that says this is real, right? That's
Absolutely.
The other part of this, and I'm pretty confident in feeling that way.
Absolutely. Well, it's connecting all energies together, and the more intent you put from 5,000, 100,000 people, the more you're going to kickstart things and make them happen. I mean, you've got to remember, you know, the cabal, deep state, what do you want to call them? You know, they're just whatever. They're creating transmissional frequencies at God manifestation frequencies that try and block things, and they transmit them all over the world, like through HARP and everything else. So when you try and manifest, you say, okay, God, I need a car because, you know, I've got to go to work, you know, and it doesn't arrive. Well, first of all, the intent wasn't absolutely like, let's do it right now, because you don't have, you know, your brain's like a dipole. Think about this, you know, all the nerve endings, it's a dipole. And so it's like a transmitter of frequency. So if you put a really strong energy, a really strong signal out to those, you know, nerve endings, it'll transmit through. If it's really weak, like, well, you know, I don't know, but I need another car guard and, you know, or Prime Creator and I need one now. There's no power in that. You've got to get power, you know, in this world. You've got to put power within yourself so that you can actually create that intent with absolute faith, and then things really start happening. I've seen it in my life, you know.
Let's take our break right here. Our guest tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin. We are discussing the big ET conspiracy right now, right here on planet Earth. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it a little of both? Are we getting some help? What can we do about it? All of that is next. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Dr. Macklin after this quick break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Come join us for the Starworks UFOs and Artificial Intelligence Conference, November 6th through the 8th at the Aquarius Resort in Laughlin, Nevada. A full weekend of events with Grant Cameron, James Fox, Alan Stivelman, Sid Goldberg, Jaime Maussan, Lynn Katai, Paul Hynek, and another dozen great speakers and presenters. Special Fade to Black Sky Watches with Hoffman's Optics on Thursday and Friday nights, movie premieres, a cocktail party, a dinner gala. Get your discount ticket packages today at StarWorksUSA.com. I'll be there along with the entire Fade to Black crew. Start planning your weekend now for the Starworks UFOs and Artificial Intelligence Conference, November 6th through the 8th at the Aquarius Resort in Laughlin, Nevada. Just visit StarWorksUSA.com. Go Beckley Tepe.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
The Dark Zone presents another epic live streaming event from America's most famous haunted crime scene, the Lizzie Borden Murder House. A 4-day live streaming event, August 28th through the 31st, 2020. Following the smash success of the first-of-its-kind live streaming event at the Conjuring House, the Dark Zone Network is proud to present a worldwide interactive live streaming event from the notorious double murder scene, the Lizzie Borden House in Fall River, Massachusetts. This is the perfect warm-up for Halloween. Full access to the continuous around-the-clock 4-day event is just $19.99. Discounted tickets are on sale now, and you can check out the free preview on Thursday, August 27th. For more information and to watch the Lizzie Borden Murder House live, please visit thedarkzone.tv or just click on the banners at jimmychurchradio.com. That's www.thedarkzone.tv.
Telepath is a weekly digital newsletter filled with the latest paranormal news, trending topics, and fresh articles from some of the most popular critical thinkers in the community today. Stay informed on your favorite paranormal podcasts and live streaming talk shows. Interact with the Telepath and upload your paranormal story or pics. It could be featured in an upcoming edition. Sign up right now for the free Telepath newsletter at paranormal.radio. That's paranormal.radio.
Including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin is here. Tomorrow night is Open Lines. It is Fader night because it's Thursday. Open lines all night long. I want to get back, Dr. Macklin, to where we were when we, I'm very concerned, and so is everybody else, because we see the darkness that is enveloping this planet right now. We know that there's a divided divided cities, divided countries. We've got protests. We've got coronavirus. We've got the economy. So many different, and from that, there are so many different issues that are spawned. The negativity is there, but who is here to actually help us, and how can we recognize it if it is happening?
Well, I think first of all, it's about education. It's, again, we talk about enlightenment. Got to get everyone enlightened a little bit. What we've got to do is take a step back and think about, okay, look at the figures, that were being shown. It's important to realize that the figures are nonsense. People aren't dying of flu, they're dying of nothing except coronavirus or COVID-19. I've looked at this very closely. There is a weaponized system. It's really crazy. It's got HIV proteins, it's got SARS, it's got all these things, and nanobots in it. It blows up in the body within 7 days and really causes a problem. But it is DNA dependent. And that's alien technology. It's come from the Zeta Greys. So all this stuff started, really bad in the 1930s, and it's just been getting worse, And I think there is darkness, but there's a lot of people helping down here to start shifting the planet because the dark aliens, like I say, we swept the Zeta Greys off, but there's still the reptilians and the Archons, and they're connected to the One World Order, and Luciferians. It's all about control. So. And they're alien beings themselves because they're from the fourth dimension. They're in the same place as us, but in a different dimension. So they're aliens as well. Some of them travel on craft.
Right, and I'm watching Twitter. I don't know if you're watching Twitter right now, but it's one question after another. We've got to continue talking about guardian angels. Our guardians. How do we tune into them? Another tweet right after those. I second asking about the guardians. How do we summon them? What do they look like? What are their limitations? What are their ultimate goals? It's a concern for everybody right now.
Well, I think it's really important that if you want to connect to your starseed family, they are alien beings. So how do we connect them? Well, first of all, we've got to find out who they are. Where am I from? Am I Palladian, am I Arcturian, Sumerian, Atlantean? A lot of people aren't a lot of people, some people have been chosen to come down here, not chosen actually, they agreed. People have this misconception that you have contracts to come down here. You don't. It's your free will. So if you say, yeah, I want to come down, depending on your soul origin, you have a certain amount of human DNA and all this sort of thing, but depending on your soul origin, if you're a starseed, and you can tell whether you're starseed because you don't fit in at all. How many times did I do healing sessions? Well, I don't belong here. Well, no, but what we've got to do is get a new way of working where you can, like I say, get to a place where you can actually get out there and help and remove any attachments and all this sort of thing. So
is starseed used a little bit too freely these days without without people understanding actually what they're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's your soul origin, so you've got to decide, if you come down here, you don't fit in. The chances are you've got work to do down here. You volunteered to come down here, so it's time to take action, and let's get you back to your sovereign self. And that's one of my whole purposes, this Global Enlightenment Project. Like I said, we've got a huge project happening in the future, which is half off planet, half on planet. But I think it is to use too much. But what I found with the Melchizedek beings is that when I went bankrupt about 14 years ago, I knew it was different and everything else, but and I knew I was Melchizedek. I found out, went to Belize, meditated the Man Temple. They showed me everything. I met one of the other Melchizedek beings. I've met all 5 now. So what happened is that I meditated, nothing happened. Meditated again, nothing happened. Why is that? Well, it's not being cruel. It's just they don't waste their time with people who aren't going to be committed. And it can take a while. It's so easy. People say, well, I meditate 3 days and they didn't show up. It doesn't work like that. They'll show up. And let me tell you, I remember I meditated for about 3 or 4 weeks, about 4 hours a day. And suddenly they showed up and wow, things started happening. I saw kind of vortexes of stuff coming to my body. They were doing upgrades. all sorts of weird stuff happen. And I could do amazing things as well at that time because I was in a really high vibrational state. And, and from that meditation, they taught me cause and effect. I haven't learned all this healing from anywhere else. For example, rheumatoid arthritis, what's that? Well, why should your joints get inflamed? Well, it's simple. You've got pathogenic infections. So the autoimmune, it's stuck in the joints, and so the autoimmune attacks it, swells the joints. But then you get the arthritis bit, which is meridian flow. If you've got blockages in your meridian structure, your bones start to calcify at the ends of them. So there's two separate things in rheumatoid arthritis. Got rid of many times. Parkinson's, what's that? People think it's all genetic. It's from either stealth pathogenic infections. So what happens there is you've got co-infections like Epstein-Barr. You've also got neurotoxins. So the neurotoxins of the brain damage the brain. It's brain damage from neurotoxins. And then the pathogenic infections like Epstein-Barr swells the vagus nerve, and you start this shaking going on. We've got rid of this many times. It's just the problem is you've got to understand the cause and effect. So it takes a lot. Once you connect to your starseed family, gifts start really downloading. You think, oh, that's my gift, because they'll tell you. If you meditate with them, and then once you get your gift, they start downloading how it works. And so, because gifts to me, you don't have to go to school with a gift; it's just there.
And when you mention Melchizedek beings, for the audience that may not know what you're referring to, what are we talking about here?
Well, Melchizedek beings are the ultimate dimension, and don't forget, people think there's 12 dimensions, 9 dimensions. There's not. There's infinite dimensions. And, we came from the infinite dimension. And again, we've come down here many times to try and help shift the planet along with the Palladians and, Arcturians and different races, Sumerians. And did it work? Well, it's not worked up to now. But that was a rehearsal. Now is the time, because this is the big planet shift. And, they always say it gets darkest before the dawn. It's time to hold on to that positivity, because, the more people shift their timeline themselves, it'll bleed into the collective and start shifting that timeline. Well, and so that's really important.
And Melchizedek in the Bible is, how do I say that? Because very mysterious, right? And almost, are we talking about the same thing? And are we talking about something that is nearly angelic?
Yeah. Sorry, it's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Yeah, because that.
So,
like I say, there's 5 of us here,
and you've met all 5. You've met 4. You've met 4 others, including yourself.
Yeah.
And where are they on Earth? Are they spread out?
One's in India. One floats between the UK and here. One's in America, and then there's obviously me in America, and then there's another one in the UK, which is the not so good one.
Oh, you've got one that's bad?
There's one that's been bad for many thousands of years.
Shut the front door. Okay, now this just took an interesting turn, Chris.
I know, I've got to be careful what I say about this.
Yes,
because it's very close to my heart, but it's very sad as well.
And how have the 5 of you become aware of each other?
Well, I met them all. It's like anything. When you're on a path of doing things, what I call divine alignment. Where you're doing your gifts and everything else, things just line up. And so, I met the guy in England. He floats between England and here. His gifts are quite different than mine. He's very into sacred geometry and does a lot of sacred geometry stuff. I do a lot of healing, and then there's another one which does a lot of, is very amazing with the voice and, also creativity of different types. And so, and then there's another one that's actually not doing a lot at the moment and is in India.
And what's the purpose? I understand the individual gifts, but what is the overall purpose?
Well, the overall purpose is to, I have an inner strength. There's one thing about me with my gifts and things. There's certain things I can do which I would never give over to anybody because it's my gift and I take it to the death. So it doesn't bother me either way. And And I think the gift of, for example, in the Akashic Records, I can split timelines. I'm one of two Melchizedek beings who can do that. And I think, so, we're here to, because we've got an inner strength, we're going to do a huge project. We're going to do probably the biggest spiritual project that has ever happened for the last 4,000 years, 6,000 years, whatever.
And when let's stay on the Akashic Records for a second, if we can. The access to the records, can I get access to mine?
Yeah, I mean, through meditation, or you can use a medium. If you can see them yourself, you can meditate and ask your starseed beings to show you your Akashic Records, but you can see the past records. But of course, the future is infinite. So what it's important to do is to connect with your starseed family and decide, okay, what is I have these infinite timelines I could do. I could go and ride bikes for a living. I can be a motorcyclist. I can be a truck driver. I could work for a big corporate. I can rob a bank, go to jail. Whatever you want to do, you can do. It's your choice. But I think it's really important to, if you meditate with starseed family, over time you'll understand your gift. Maybe you're a medicine person, where you mixing herbs and doing oils and things like that. Maybe your gift is crystals. So it depends what gift you've got. But that to me is divine alignment. If you find your gift, then you'll go down the path of that gift, and you'll be blessed all the time. You'll always have enough. I mean, I'm true. I'm living proof of that. I went bankrupt 14 years ago. I had a Bentley. I sit in the middle of Manchester. Everything collapsed. I was building apartment blocks. And I remember sitting there, someone lent me a flat for like 4 weeks, and I had this Bentley in the parking lot. I couldn't even put gas in it. It was kind of, what the heck did I buy that for? It really came out, forward to me, like, why did I buy this nonsense? It's just a bit of tin on wheels. But what it did do is, I said, okay, God, this is not funny, and they said, well, it's the right time. How do you mean it's the right time? It's the right time. And by God, what an amazing journey after that.
So through meditation, I would love to access my Akashic Records. I've had a lot of people offer me assistance with that. One day I will get to that point. But there is another step, and guide me through this. I would have to practice meditation and understand what I'm doing, and then find my starseed or family. But would there also be a guardian type of being or guardian angel that I would meet and that would help me through this? And all of this is through meditation?
Yeah, it's through meditation. You'll meet your guides. My primary guide, I know. And, again, I've got to be careful what I say, because I don't want to give too much away about the Melchizedek beings. But, I know all the guides I've got. And, once you get them, you can call on them all the time, because they become your best friend. They're there all the time. And I think that's really important. And the main thing down here really is, we're all here as starseeds to get humanity back to its sovereign state, its high vibrational state, get rid of all this fear. There's so much mental issues and different things going on. And there's a lot of people who've had implants, of course, alien implants, Zeta Greys hijack them, they put implants in, or the governmental system does it, they use the Zeta Grey technology and put implants in people around the heart, just below the brainstem, in the reproductive, and they transmit frequencies so they can actually read what's going on in the body,
I understand the Akashic Records for planet Earth, but is this the same throughout the universe? I die, my consciousness is out, and I'm cruising, and I'm doing my thing, and I land on another planet, Alpha Centauri, and B. Let's go with B. I'm not too sure about A. Let's go with B. And I'm there. Akashic Records exist there too as well, right? Is this a universal concept?
It's a third dimensional concept because, like I say, this third dimensional world is about a classroom. Now, there's other dimensions that it's not about a classroom, so they don't exist because they don't need them. So it's a lot about whether that dimension is a classroom or whether it's somewhere that is about high vibration and you can manifest all the things you need, you don't need Akashic records for that because it's not going to go pear-shaped.
Right,
But,
okay.
If you create a school, you put the kids in the school, of course, things are going to go pear-shaped. So that's why the Akashic records are an imprint of what you've done, the timelines you've been on, can't go back on them and change other timelines because it's already happened. So it's stabilizing the whole classroom, really.
Well, I understand. Right now, I'm completely 3D, right? I'm a doofus. I realize that I'm just a 3D guy. But when and Akashic records apply to me now, and I get that. When you say that when you move beyond that, is that a fourth dimensional being, a fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional progress?
Fifth dimensional, they don't necessarily need Akashic records. The fifth dimension, ninth, 12th, Arcturians are in the 12th,
Right.
So really it's just for this third dimensional world, just to lock it down so nothing crazy happens.
And I don't hear much about, and I know you're going to laugh, but I'm a little naive. I never hear much about the fourth dimension. Why is that?
Well, that's because all the reptilians are there, and all humanity. It's humanity's dumping ground for all the emotion and everything else. So it's kind of pretty dark there. So I think that's why we're ascending to the fifth dimension. We're skipping over the fourth because you wouldn't want to be in there. And you're going straight to the fifth dimension.
Do you have to do a drive-by in the fourth dimension to get to the fifth dimension?
No, it's just going to switch over immediately.
So you can bypass the fourth dimension.
Oh yeah, but you can get sucked into the fourth dimension because, of course, these reptilian things are all around you. And the funny thing about Anunnaki, I always remember I was on with a radio host one time. I didn't go on his show, but his wife, basically, he said, I don't understand it. When she gets mad, she throws me about 30 feet across the room, and she's a slight lady. How does she do that? I said, it's not her. It's when she gets mad, she's got a big old reptilian attached to her, and they're about 10'7" tall. They can just grab you by the throat. You can be slammed in a wall about 50 feet away. So what happens is, when someone gets angry, they switch into this dimension. Maybe for less than a quarter of a second, they'll grab you, send you, and then switch out again. You look back and, how did you do that? And it's not adrenaline or anything else. It's the attachment that's doing it. So many people have reptilian attachments. They're alien beings. And, of course, the reason why they attach is because they want humanity to be sick and depressed. So what they do is they sit in the abdomen, they hang on the shoulders, they tap in the lower back, saying your negative thoughts. Obviously, because they're sitting in the abdomen, it's low vibration. They crash the intestines from the end of the rib cage down, paralyze them. They crash the adrenals, crash the liver, so you got headaches, all this sort of thing. And they hang on your shoulders or neck, so that's always tight. And by tapping the lower back, they always damage the L4, L5 disc.
Amazing. I just did L4 and L5. That's another story. I'll tell you about that off of the air. But this definitely explains a lot about my friend Mark, and my friend Eric. I'm telling you, reptilians. I need you to meet these two guys. We need to identify them and call them out. You laugh. I'm not laughing.
No. You can tell whether people are reptilian. And by the way, Jimmy, you're not so third dimensional, I'll tell you. So I've just got to say that. You're spreading the knowledge on this planet like you wouldn't believe, and it's, you've got more knowledge than that,
Yeah, I'm just so fascinated with it, and I know that there is something going on. I just know it, and I can't quite figure it out. But I'm going to get to the end of the road one way or another. I am definitely going to figure this out. I wanted to ask you when, and this actually comes in from Brian. We were talking about this earlier, and I wanted to ask you this then. He just reminded me. When you black out for that 10 minutes, what is actually happening there? Is there something activated in your body? Is there a chakra point that is activated?
No, what happens is when you leave like that, they protect you, but your soul goes traveling, so you've got an umbilical cord. And this is a good point, actually, Brian, because it's worth explaining. So what happens is that, you got an umbilical cord, you go off, it's still connected, you do your stuff, you sit there, have a chat, doing all the things, and then they bring you back, and then you slam back in your body, and bang, you wake up. Now, the reason, of course, you're escorted, so they will get you back in your body anyway. Now, the interesting thing that happens is if people go through dramatic things, sometimes you leave your body. Like, for example, if someone's been raped or something else, they never remember it because the soul leaves the body because it leaves this, I call it, I like Chevy vehicles. I want to be biased. Your body's a Chevy vehicle, and it's almost like jumping out, leaving the keys in, but let's go in and, do something. And then someone drives it around the parking lot, smashes it into a lamppost, parks it back outside. It's a little bit of damage. But you're not violating them because their soul always leaves the body if there's a high drama thing. So I think it's really important to realize that. But what can happen sometimes if it wasn't expected, say you're in a really car wreck and it just happened out of the blue, your soul leaves the body so fast, the umbilical cord breaks, and then what happens is the soul's lost. It can't find its way back to the body, and that's why a lot of people go into comas, because there's no soul there. The soul's there, but it can't find its way back in the body. And I've done a lot of soul fishing back for people, in hospitals where, they've been in coma for like 2 years, and, let's get the soul back. They wake up immediately. It's incredible.
When we come back after the break, I want to address a couple of things, but how do we get rid of an attachment? And I find that so interesting, and I've had many guests on the show speak about that, and we've taken phone calls. Maybe we'll get to some phone calls tonight. But I want to address this very directly when we come back. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin. Tomorrow night, open lines all night long. Should we open up the phones tonight? You guys want to have a little chat with Dr. Macklin? Let me know on Twitter. Maybe we'll open up the phones. I'll be right back after this short break. This is Fade to Black.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend. Let's face it, you've always wanted to do a sky watch and see your first UFO. Today, it's easy. Just get your own HP7 3B Cobalt Jimmy Church Edition night vision goggles from Hoffman's Optics. This is the same U.S. military system that I use, featuring a Generation 3 blue phosphor image tube. That's right, it's blue, not black and green. This is the only blue system in the world, and it's waterproof, lightweight, combat-proof, simple to use, and ready to go. Hoffman's Optics helped create night vision sky watches, and now you can see what everyone has been talking about each night from your own backyard. Just call 760-231-9929. That's 760-231-9929. You can click on the banners on our site or visit UFONightVisionGoggles.com. That's UFONightVisionGoggles.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein the Ancient Crystal Skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Telepath is a weekly digital newsletter filled with the latest paranormal news, trending topics, and fresh articles from some of the most popular critical thinkers in the community today. Stay informed on your favorite paranormal podcasts and live streaming talk shows. Interact with the Telepath and upload your paranormal story or pics. It could be featured in an upcoming edition. Sign up right now for the free Telepath newsletter at paranormal.radio. That's paranormal.radio.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. All right, I'll open up the phone lines just because I've got a lot of other conversing that I want to do with Dr. Macklin. But 747-228-2051. Now is your chance. Get in line. 747-228-2051. Dr. Macklin, here's the question of the night. This is from Chuck. If there is a prime being that created or started this all, why did he or she, it, even allow negativity to exist?
Interesting question, but it only exists in certain dimensions. It doesn't exist right through the whole universe. There's different planets with different problems. And because we created a classroom, or there's a classroom created down here and on other planets, then you're there to learn. So, of course, by having free will, you can choose like greed, service to self, or you can choose service to others. It's, you can have distortion of different types. It depends on your choice. So it was created a classroom. It's like having kids in a school. They're all going to be naughty? No. But some of them are. Some of them are a bit south and, need education. And that's what this classroom's all about. So, again, everyone's a God being, except for, obviously, things built, robotic people built down here. They're not God beings. AI bots aren't God beings. They've been created by God beings but to control. But, but actual beings with a soul, everyone's from Prime Creator. However, when you're in a classroom and you have free will and you go through a lifetime, it's about growing. And so you can't grow without a classroom. So if you're in a classroom, you're going to make mistakes. And that's what the darkness and light, it's a polarity. And that's what allows you to understand mistakes. The problem is with this planet is it's kind of going too south.
How do we know that we have free will? I mean, right now, the question that I'm asking you, I feel I did it on my own, right? I feel that I did. How do we know that we have free will?
It's an interesting question. Well, because you can do anything you want, right now, like I say, you can do anything you want. You can go anywhere you want. It may not be so easy. I mean, the balance is off right now, and people probably think they don't have free will, but they do. I mean, do I wear a mask? No. Will I wear one? Absolutely not. So it's my free will not to wear a mask. And if I can't go into places where you have to wear a mask, then I won't go. That's my free will. You know, we still have free will. I mean, I know there's governmental systems trying to impose certain laws and things like this. And, you know, I believe, you know, a lot of laws are there because, you know, killing people is wrong and all sort of thing. But now it's got too big and it's going right off balance where they're really now affecting human rights, in my opinion.
Let's. You want to take some phone calls?
Yeah, sure. That'd be beautiful.
Let's see what we've got going on the phones tonight. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. I'm the Turkish professor from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing good. What was your name?
Onur İnce.
Say. I can't say your name again.
İnce. O-N-U-R. Honor. Last name I-N-C-E. Ince.
Okay, let's just go with owner. How's that?
That's a perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Say hi to Dr. Macklin.
Hi,
Dr. Macklin. How are you?
Bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to talk to you about free will, dimensionality, and mainstream science. As a member of mainstream science, as an economics professor, of course, there are, especially after I came to the United States, I can understand and started to realize that there is taboos. You cannot talk about aliens. You cannot talk about extra-dimensional beings. If there's a ghost, you're crazy. If you're a pilot, you see a UFO, you're crazy. You're a maniac. You're dangerous. You should be eliminated. Everything is fear-based, and there is obviously the press-based Nazi type of propaganda.
Absolutely.
And this type of like Joseph Himmler's, Adolf Hitler's propaganda ministers, 10 rules are applied in this society. And people are getting more and more and more understanding, actually. They're trying to figure out what's going on in the society, and they understand that something is pressuring. That's why these conspiracy theories are freaking out, because they know that there's something that they cannot figure out what's going on. So there are a lot of theories that are flying around. What I want to talk to you about, or ask you about this, when you said that you were talking about the star families and reincarnation, if you like to learn and if you have a free will, let's say, Göbekli Tepe, this place is buried underground deliberately, right? And we still have the excavations now. We have like 50 times more underground chambers that are still waiting to be excavated. So let's say I was a member of that society or alien society, whoever did this. I'm just saying that human beings did it, or I just don't want to name it. Do I, as a free will, let's say, can I do something that knowing that I'm going to come back again on this earth?
Dr. Macklin.
Yeah, can you do something knowing you're going to come back? Well, the thing is, if you're a starseed, you don't necessarily come back. It's your choice. But if you're on the solar cycling process where you're in the classroom actually getting more and more evolved, and every time you come back, you learn something new, you might come back 10,000 times until you get it, you know. And I love Jesus' teachings. You know, I'm not a Christian, no, but Jesus' teachings are pretty amazing. And one of the things he said is, if you believe in me, and it wasn't me, it was my teachings, if you believe my teachings, you will have everlasting life. That means if you get it right down here, right now, you don't have to come back to this place, you know. So I think it's about involvement, you know. So, but if you're a starseed, you volunteer to come here. So if you're on the solar cycling process, you're coming back until, you know, you learn. And once you get to that high vibration place, then you don't have to come back again. You're evolved enough to move on.
Thank you for the phone call, owner, and Göbekli Tepe, by the way. And last night, I was watching the TV series Good Omens. I'm binging it for the second time. There was a scene the good and the bad angel. The bad guy, by the way, the bad angel, his name is Crowley, and I just love that. Anyway, so they're there at the crucifixion, and the good angel turns to Crowley and he goes, they're watching him drive the nails in Jesus's hands onto the cross, right? And the good angel says to Crowley, says, "What did he do?" And Crowley goes, he said everybody should be nice to each other. and it was just, now, funny? Yeah, absolutely. I laughed out loud. But that is exactly the issue today. I mean, it was such a philosophical moment for me to sit there and go, you know what? That's exactly right. Right there. That's exactly what is going on. Let's stay on the phones. I got a lot of calls on hold. So, let's see who is up next. I'm waiting. Come on, click over. You can do it. Oh, man. Sometimes, I swear, the technology wins. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Nick and Jimmy, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Nick, how are you tonight?
Great, how are you?
I am doing good. Say hi to Dr. Macklin.
Hi, Nick. Hello, Dr. Macklin.
What's your question, Nick?
I was wanting to describe to the doctor a sighting I had and get his take on what it may have been and what it may have been doing.
What did you see?
Well, I've already told you the story once before, so I won't go through the whole thing, but the object I saw was a black triangle, which seemed massive overhead. And as it drifted away, it was almost like a 2D plane. So as it drifted onto its side, from my point of view, it just completely disappeared. And Dr. Macklin, I think you're in Branson, Missouri. Is that right?
I am, yeah, that's right.
Okay, I'm a couple hours north of you. So where this thing was, the trajectory it was on was west through a cluster of all the old decommissioned nuclear silos in our state, and also in the direction of Whiteman Air Force Base, where, of course, we keep our B-2 nuclear bombers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just checking it. I've seen these before. They're actually military alien ships. So they're alien technology, but actually created by the military down here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they keep them. I know they've got some at, some of the big bases, especially in Las Vegas. But I think definitely they're military craft, is what I'm being told. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've seen them before, and you could tell they're military because they do look like they use certain engine technology, but they're certainly built on this planet.
Well, okay, let me jump in. And Nick, stay on the line. And one of you has a cat, and that's totally cool.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's not mine.
Aha! It's Nick.
Nick's got a cat.
Nick's got a black cat, too. Is he black? She?
No, he's blonde, actually.
He's blonde. Is this... Dr. Macklin, you immediately, after Nick's description, you immediately went terrestrial, alien technology, but a military craft, right? Yeah. What Nick saw was not an interdimensional or something interplanetary. No, you're saying that it was definitely military.
Yeah, that was military. I've seen them before. And I asked about them. I mean, again, that's what I'm getting. My wife saw them before as well.
Nick, thank you for the phone call, man.
Thank you, Jimmy.
What's your cat's name?
Thank you, Doctor.
What's your cat's name?
Thor.
Thor?
God of thunder and lightning, Thor. Yeah, because he's a badass.
as he should be. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Jimmy. Have a great night.
You too. Doctor. Go back, Tepe. And by the way, Dr. Macklin, we end all of our calls here with Gobekli Tepe. And the reason for that is every time I say Gobekli Tepe, the audience takes a drink. And I know it's not the right thing to do, but I didn't start this. This is their thing. I did not start this. I did not start that. Let's see here. Who do I have on hold? Let's see. I have just switched screens here. There it is. Okay, let's go with this one here. Let's see who is up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jim. I'm Michael.
Hey, Michael. Say hi to Dr. Macklin.
Hey, Doc. What's up?
Hi,
nice
Michael.
It's a bittersweet kind of experience with you tonight because one of the things that I've come to realize is that, and always thought that, the good guys are playing by the rules, and while the bad guys are, I'm just subtitling here, while the bad guys are doing whatever they want, it's almost like you have to ask permission and ask for assistance because they play by the rules.
Yeah, but Michael, hasn't it always been that way? It's that way growing up.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know because you know what, brother? I'm doing research on what I've experienced my whole life, and so I don't know the rules. So that's why I listen to your show, because every once in a while you get a person like Doctor that kind of puts it out there in layman's terms.
Yes, I know. I totally get it. And Dr. Macklin, like I said earlier tonight, the good side, who is fighting the good fight for, that's what everybody wants to know. They want happiness. They want progress. They want enlightenment. They want knowledge. They want to move forward. They want
to
progress.
Kind of wondering why there's a delay in response.
And that, you know what, Dr. Macklin, somebody, and Michael, that's a really, really good point. Somebody once said to me a couple of years ago on this show, Chris, man, I'm so tired of waiting for this fifth dimension, right? I'm just tired. If it doesn't happen this year, I've been hearing about it. We need to level up. If it doesn't happen this year, I'm out. And I totally understand that frustration, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, you hear about us, we're ascending. Well, we haven't quite got there yet. It's pretty dark down here at the moment. There is certain beings, that are actually shifting, but we need around 8.7% to shift to get to that fifth dimensional world. We're nowhere near that yet. And one of the things we're doing, and I think, Michael's got a good point. Well, you play by the rules, nothing happens. Well, and waiting. We're doing a big project next year. It's $100 billion, 20,000 acres. It's going to involve 3 off-planet pyramids. Can't tell you where they're from because obviously, 3 off-planet pyramids. They're going to come here 6 months between each other, and they're going to align in the Fibonacci curve. They're made of very different material. They're Stargate things, and they're going to help shift the planet considerably. So there are projects, and we're doing the project with the Arcturians. So if that gives you any, you might be sitting there and this guy's nuts. That's okay, I mean, you're right, I am nuts, but nuts in a good way. We're making the shift. It's all about getting vibration. It's all about collective. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about everybody. We're trying to bring people together. People are very lonely. They're all pissed off because, I've been after this for ages and nothing's happening, and they're right. But it takes a lot of inner strength to keep going, because we will get there, for sure.
And why
meditation?
Yes, and back to Mike's first question, which was, why do we have to ask for help? Why do we have that law, that rule in play?
Well, we have to ask for help because we came on the third dimensional world, and like I say, it's a free will ground. You do free will, so you come down here, you do what you like. God cannot intervene because that's the rules. So it's up to us to do. We can do counter rituals. A counter God ritual to break down the satanic stuff that's getting overwhelming. They're playing with us at the moment, and it's not okay. They're using manifestation, understanding how humor works, to try and counteract, different things in our lives. Like Montauk programming. It's very easy using separation to separate people, and they get all angry with each other. Well, you're wearing a mask, I'm not. Oh, come on, guys. Who cares who's wearing a mask or not? I wouldn't worry about that right now. I'd really worry about this planet. And there's nothing, we need to do to make the shift. We are the vibration. We are our awareness. And that's going to shift us as long as we keep working on ourselves. And I think, so many people, I always teach people, we, as human beings, we ingest thousands of layers of emotion. We're not meant to ever ingest that. Why? That's why everyone's sick, depressed, on antidepressants. And, when I went for that surgery, just cut one cyst or two cysts off, they said, well, what tablet you on? I said, nothing. How do you mean nothing? You must be on something. No. So you're not on antidepressants? No. What about heart tablet? That would be nope. I'm on nothing. Oh, okay. Nothing. Are you sure? I said, yeah. I don't take any tablets whatsoever because I don't need them, because I'm perfectly healthy. But a lot of people, because they ingest this emotion, there's so much stuck energy around the heart. But that's why people are having heart attacks and heart failure. And it's one of the key instruments, I think, is to release that emotion and get rid of it.
Right. And Michael, thank you for the phone call. Two great questions. And Gobekli Tepe, by the way. There's yeah.
Hang on, let me just have a drink.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like that.
Oh man,
wow, delicious.
And how do we identify an attachment, and how do we get rid of one once we find out that there is something going on?
Okay, so you can identify. You get a bloated abdomen. You can get a pain. Snake. There's second dimensional snake beings. They tend to sit in the left or right shoulder, left or right hip, left or right breast. You can kind of feel them. Either breast, for the lady's breast, whatever, it'll feel heavy, or your shoulder feels heavy, it feels stuck. Now, with Anunnaki or Draconians, they sit in the abdomen, hang on the shoulders. So you get tight shoulders or tight neck. Abdomen, again, gets bloaty. You feel exhausted because it's crashing the adrenals. And your intestines are very, gassy. So, because you can't digest, because it's paralyzing the lower intestine. So that's why, you can get them. And they send you negative thoughts. Draconians and Anunnaki send you negative thoughts like, God, you do something today, that was useless. God, that was pathetic. And you get all these third-party thoughts that you think they're your own and they're not. Or you should commit suicide, good, how pathetic you are, you can't do anything right. You get all these thoughts 24 hours a day. If you're getting their thoughts, they're not yours, and it's an entity. If you want, Jimmy, I can do an entity removal for the whole crowd if you want.
Yeah, they
need
it.
To do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's do that. And so I'll do it for everyone here. I have to put in a portal because we have to protect everyone. There's loads of people online, so it's important. So again, so let's just do a grounding map of intent. It's called a prayer, of course. But so if we can all do that first. If you don't like the word God, I always use the word God because I'm just used to it. But if you want to use Prime Creator, Ilham, Yahweh, use what you like. It doesn't matter. God couldn't care less at this stage. So I just want you to ground yourself. I want you to say, I am of God.
I am of God.
I ground myself to the earth.
I ground myself to the earth.
And I accept this healing for my highest good.
I accept this healing for my highest good.
This will take about 5 or 6 minutes. Is that okay?
We've got exactly 6 minutes.
Okay, let's get busy. Right, I'm going to put you in portal. So this is for everybody. Ultimate dimension, 8 portals. We're going to each person on this call that's in the future. Close it off for them. Dear God, a command 27. Esoteric Merkabah fields around that person with their sacred point in the center of the Merkabah fields, bonding the portals to those Merkabah fields, bring out a blueprint of that person's DNA and the keys of Enoch, so as not to allow anything except for the highest good to enter. Right, remove an entity. If it's Anunnaki Draconian, you're going to feel a drawing sensation. Because that being's escorted out right now, you'll feel a drawing sensation from your torso out through your tummy button. It feels like a spirit leaving. If you've got a snake being left or right shoulder, left or right hip, left or right breast, you're going to feel an unraveling of that. If you've got an archon attached here. They're interdimensional beings. They have no body. They just attach. It's like having stuck energy. So again, we're clearing that out now. So you'll feel energy, just stuck energy leaving. And if you've got Luciferians, now these things are snarly. When they escort them out of the body, you might speak in a raspy voice, or they might contort your body a bit. Don't worry, they're leaving right now. So they're escorting them out now. Send them all back to God with unconditional love and forgiveness. Right, so I'm going to suck out the residual vibration of the energy in your abdomen. So if your abdomen was bloated, you're going to feel this. If you feel a little nauseous, don't worry, it'll settle down. It's just because of the shift in low to high vibration energy. So the Melchizedek beings are putting an esoteric pipe through your tummy button bag around your abdomen. Now, as they suck it out, your abdomens are going to get lighter. So it might start gurgling. So should be getting lighter. Again, 2 more. Right, we're going to send energy. So there's 2 types of people on this call. People with spirochetes and Antet, that's HIV, Agent Orange, Lyme, Morgellons, and people without that. So if you're without that, you're going to feel the abdomen getting warm, tingly. Might feel your intestines starting to gurgle. And you guys with spirochetes and Antet, we're going to use space-time continuum energy, or as I call it, tachyon energy. It's very electrostatic. It breaks down the molecular structure stuff to benign for the body with no die-off. So you should feel this very buzzy energy. It starts off subtle. It's going to get stronger. Then it's going to plateau. So I'm going to quickly comb your meridians and then give you some energy and then do some heart shock releases. So what we're doing is the Melchizedek beings, because you get stuck energies, entities are away now, should feel lighter. So you get stuck energies in the meridian. So they take their hands down your body. So you're going to feel angelic hands go down your body, all lighter we're being. We're going from your crown, down your face, the back head on the left, down your neck, cross your left shoulder, down your arm. On the right, we're doing the same. On the left, we're going down your neck, down your chest, down your abdomen, out through the hip. On the right, we're doing the same. On the left, we're going from your hip down your thigh, over your knee, down your calf, out to the foot. And on the right, we're doing the same. Right, so you guys without spirochetes and Antet, just remind you, HIV, Agent Orange, Lyme, Morgellons, or COVID-19, the weaponized one. So if you're without that, we're going to give you energy. Should start getting fairly spacey, light, floaty, warm, tingly, really relaxed. And if you guys have got spirochetes and Antet, that is HIV, Agent Orange, Lyme, Morgellons, COVID-19, we're going to give you this space-time continuum energy, or the tachyon energy. So that starts off subtle. It's very electrostatic. It's going to get stronger. Then it's going to plateau. 2 more things to do. Is that okay?
Yes.
Jimmy? Okay, so liver and kidneys. A lot of people get adrenal issues. It's caused by emotion. It bleeds into the adrenals, paralyzed, we feel exhausted. So we're going to work on the adrenals a bit in the liver. So they should start getting warm, tingly. Now they're going to the adrenals. You're going to feel movement. This is psychic surgery. You're going to feel tugging, pulling, or butterflies moving as the Melchizedek beings clear out the energy. Now your liver's going up. Average on the liver is pretty low today. It's about 47, 48%. So that means there's a lot of stuck energy there. So we're going to take it up. So as it gets higher, your head's going to start clearing because it'll start processing the toxins. It's got 56, 63. Head should be getting lighter and lighter. 68. It's processing the toxins. 75. 86. 95. So head should be getting lighter and lighter now as it processes the toxins, because if your liver's at 40%, it doesn't process the toxins. So it's got to 100. Your head's going to keep clearing over the next 5 minutes, and then I think we're probably run out of time to do much more, but that's just a little bit of taste of what the healing does. So
that is so interesting. We're going to take a break right here, Chris, and I'm going to hear from everybody when we come back. I've got 5 minutes. Let's take a commercial break. That was fascinating. Our guest tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin. Now we have to do some overtime. So, Chris, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
You are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app. Free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Come join us for the StarWorks UFOs and Artificial Intelligence Conference, November 6th through the 8th at the Aquarius Resort in Laughlin, Nevada. A full weekend of events with Grant Cameron, James Fox, Alan Stivelman, Sid Goldberg, Jaime Maussan, Lynn Katai, Paul Hynek, and another dozen great speakers and presenters. Special Fade to Black Sky Watches with Hoffman's Optics on Thursday and Friday nights, movie premieres, a cocktail party, a dinner gala. Get your discount ticket packages today at StarWorksUSA.com. I'll be there along with the entire Fade to Black crew. Start planning your weekend now for the StarWorks UFOs and Artificial Intelligence Conference, November 6th through the 8th at the Aquarius Resort in Laughlin, Nevada. Just visit StarWorksUSA.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Dr. Christopher Macklin. I'm opening up the phone lines again. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Did you do it? Did ya do it? I did. Now, okay, Dr. Macklin. Everybody was watching me on the studio cam, the bunker cam here. That was pretty trippy. That was pretty trippy. So what is going on there? Okay, let me just say this, and everybody was watching on camera, and I don't know. Okay, let me be devil's advocate. All right, let me play that side first, which is I don't know if it's the power of suggestion and that I'm excited, right? But I immediately felt tingling in my lower abdomen, stomach area, just a tingle, when you said, okay, you're going to start to feel a tingle in your lower abdomen. And I looked at the camera like, WTF. I was right there, man. I was right there. And so what ultimately is going on? I'm watching everybody's reaction in Twitter. It's pretty amazing. What's going on?
Okay, so what I do when I do a healing, we put a portal around you. So ultimate dimensions where the Melchizedek beings are. I was born as one, so they're my people who do the work with me. So we put a portal around you. Ultimate dimension, 8 portals around you, close it off underneath you. That's 8 portals. Now, the reason we do 8 portals is that we then create 27 esoteric Merkaba fields. They're Merkabas with obviously 8 points. And we bond each portal into a point of the Merkaba field, so you're in a sacred space. So then the Melchizedek beings can come through the ultimate dimension and do work on you. So that's what we were doing.
That's man. That was the camera was turned off. Everybody's complaining. I was in the zone. Everybody, I was in the zone. Okay, that was pretty strange to go through. And this is the thing for everybody that's out there right now that did that in real time. That's one thing. The replays and the podcast and the archives later, tomorrow, next week, people are going to listen to this show, and there are those that are going to participate, and they will, even in the future, right? It doesn't have to be live. Will they be able to go through what I just experienced?
Oh, yeah, because that's why I said listening now or in the future.
Right.
I set the intent of that. So that means anyone listening to the show in the future will feel that small. I mean, it's not a whole healing. It just gives you an example of what the healing's all about,
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. 747-228-2051. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Did you do it? You're live.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah. Did you
got me?
Did you do it? And who's this?
I'm sorry. This is Brian.
Hey, hey, Brian.
Yeah, man. That was amazing. And Dr. Macklin, thank you. God bless you for saying everything tonight.
Bless you. Thanks,
anyway, I was sitting here just totally chill, nothing, and then. Yeah, instantly I had a headache, like right at the top of my head, and it was sharp. And then I started feeling, usually when I meditate, instantly my hands will feel like I'm holding electricity, or there's balls of energy in my hand. That didn't sound right. Anyway, but instantly I felt that electricity in my hands, which was weird because usually I have to sit in meditation to make that happen.
Were you Were you surprised, Brian, as I was, to have that? It was almost instantaneous as Dr. Macklin was speaking.
Yeah, right away. It was definitely. I was trying to focus on what he was saying when he was opening and bringing in protection and all of that, and you went through it really fast, Doctor. That was, I heard a lot of things, but yeah. And I've had a lot of energy work done, and I've had things done. I've had a lot of extraction work done, and I've had soul retrievals, and I've had, I've done some past life stuff that I know isn't a joke. I know this is not a joke. But that remotely, that was intense.
It was intense. It was intense. Were you, Brian? Yeah, Dr. Macklin's laughing because of this. It's nothing to him. It's
I
very
do it every day.
Yeah, no, it's very special to us. Brian, were you surprised?
I think I'm open to it, and I've seen enough things, so I know it works. But that was right away.
Yeah.
And yeah, like by the time before you were done, doctor, my headache had just fizzed right out of my head, and I didn't have a headache prior to. So, I mean, I don't usually get headaches, so that was surprising. And then, right at the end, when it was done and complete, my shins, like the hair on my leg, started to like kind of stand up, and I started getting tingles all the way up on my knees, which is weird in itself. But then up my back and up my neck, and I could feel it on my ears, like. And then I just felt silly. I just felt like I had this big smile on my face, and I felt really good. And yeah, right now I'm in a great mood. I'm in a great mood right now.
Right on, Brian. Go Beckley Tepe, man. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Go Beckley Tepe. Love you guys. Love you, faders.
Love you. Bless you.
Thanks, doctor.
Right back at you, Brian. And this is Dr. Macklin. I'm just going to read going down all of this. Let's see here. Let's see. When he said buzzing around, I heard a mosquito-type buzz above my right eye. Nice. This is from Karen. Karen says, quantum entanglement is a real thing. It works now. In the future, it's amazing. Indy Susan says, I was praying while Dr. Macklin talked. I had several waves of chills sweep over my body. Let's see. There's so many. Well, a buzz moved over my forehead, left or right. It's resting in my right leg. I need a refill. Somebody just said, I heard something. Somebody else says, there was something about, Chuck said, I heard, this is interesting. Check this out, Chris. I heard a woman's voice, English accent, very quietly say hello. I'm under a lot of stress these days, but I heard it. I felt it. Is that unusual?
No, sometimes you can hear them accuse that beings, because when they speak to you, they kind of, again, you can hear it, but it's, they speak to you through telepathy, but sometimes, obviously you can hear it, they speak to me all the time.
And English accent?
Yeah. Sometimes. That'll be one of the Macklin beings.
Yeah, interesting. And
in fact, I'll let you all in on it. I'm married to one of the Macklin beings.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't have told you that, should I? What have I done?
Wow. You save that for another show. Lisa says, my face feels funny. What? That's what she... Oh, man. Heat is coming up. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Macklin. Okay. And then my comment was, I said, okay, I'll admit it. That was pretty trippy.
But that was only a bit. I mean, when we do psychic surgery, for example, Jimmy, maybe we'll do this where we'll fix the disc. What they would do, the L4R5 disc, looks like you've got a bulge on the right-hand side. Might get a pain in your buttock, or maybe sciatic down the right, or maybe a bit of numbness in the toes. I'm not quite sure whether you do. Do you?
Yeah, and
I'm looking at your disc.
Okay, how can you do that? I mean,
it's called remote viewing. It's called remote viewing.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, I mean, the way I remote view, and again, I know the military tried this, but I think it's a gift. And So what they do is, it's like, you have in your mind, and, whether you've got your eyes open or not, it doesn't matter, it's right there. So and what happens is, it's almost like having windows, like 10 windows open. Like, they'll show, for example, if I'm working on somebody, if you work on the lower back, you've got a window open, then you've got another window open in the heart, you've got another, depending on what you're doing, and you switch between them, making sure they're doing the work. So I call it remote viewing. So I can see a disc, it's got a bulge on it. So what they do, to fix that, they bring a disc with a different dimension, the ultimate dimension. Here it's an energy field, yeah? They put it over the current disc. It will switch dimensions in 48 hours. Yours will leave this dimension, your one comes in, it gets replaced. Now, you've got a little pinch on the sciatic nerve on that right-hand side. So even if you replace the disc, you're still going to get a bit of numbness and things. They can repair that. So they'll go in and you'll probably feel twinges down your leg. But we can do that another time.
Very, very interesting. I got in a car accident 10 years ago, head-on collision. And wasn't my fault, by the way. Somebody turned in front of me and crossed the double yellow line, and neither of us hit the brakes. We just slammed into each other head-on. And I obviously my body was completely traumatized. And there was some damage to L4 and L5. And so now, today, turning my head to the left like this is tight and it almost impossible. I can go to the right. I can go all the way around like I used to when I was a kid. But sleeping on my stomach, I can't turn my head to the left. I can only turn it to the right. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up. I'm used to it. I'm used to it now. Yeah. I'm used to it now, but man, it just sucks. I've got time for one more. I would love to work on it if there's something that you think that. No,
let us know. I'll send you a Skype message after, and we'll give you a ring. I'll set up a couple of healing sessions because they can fix that. What they do with the scar tissue, they break it down. So they go in and break it down and put it back through the lymphatic system. And rebuild the areas that have been damaged. So you'll feel it. It's pretty trippy.
After what just happened 20 minutes ago, yes, I'm fully engaged. Time for one more quick phone call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy and Doctor, this is Chuck. I'm the one that heard something, and Doctor. Hello. And
yeah, Chuck. We're here, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're saying what you heard.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was doing the old doctor thing, so I'm blown away. So, Doctor, again, I don't know how to say it. Like, I think I just felt or experienced something I've never, ever, imagined. But anyway, as I just want to give you the, 10-second version of it. Jimmy and you guys said you were about to do this, so I ran outside in my deck and I sat down on my nice zero gravity chair, and I, did the process and just listened. And then I can't explain it, but it was a faint English woman's accent. Like it was super far away and quiet, but I heard it clear as a bell, just saying, hello. And I felt like an idiot, but I said, can you hear me? And after I said, can you hear me? I didn't hear it anymore. But obviously I felt everything in my gut and my head. It could have been nerves, right? But what did I feel? Or I'll be honest, there's a massive backstory with me, and my wife's very sick right now. But we got some amazing news. Like in a 2-second version, what did I just experience?
Well, the talking was the one of the Melchizedek beings. Actually, the mother of the Melchizedek being. So she was talking to you. But they always talk to you, because they use telepathy, English accent. So that's what you were hearing. And she was just trying to say, hi.
Chuck.
Wow.
Chuck,
Yes,
did you hear it did you hear it in your head, or did you hear it through your ears?
No, it was like it was inside my head. Like, I mean, because it was like, usually when you hear something from far, far away or whatever, it's not as, clear. And when you hear something really, really, really quiet, it's not as clear. It was unbelievably quiet / unbelievably far away sensing, but the hello, which I believe I heard like 3 or 4 times, and they weren't like steady hellos. It was like a, hello, and then a pause, and like a hello. Yeah, but they were, I could hear it. If there was a bomb going off, I would have still heard it, kind of a thing.
Wow, that is crazy town, Chuck.
And like again, I'm viewing it as amazing. The last 24 hours has been huge for me. I'll just really quickly tell you, Doctor, my wife just got approved for a heart transplant. That is the light at the end of the tunnel. We've been trying to get her healthy enough to get a heart. Yay. And then the doctors just say yes. The yes came through yesterday at 1:38 or 2:38, and the reason is 38 is a very significant number to us. We couldn't make this stuff up, and the actual text that Kara got from the transplant team came through at 38. It's like, over the last 12 hours, 24 hours, could it me be really excited about life? Sure. Yeah. But I swear there's been more going on over the last 24 hours than me excited.
Yeah, Chuck, that's the best news I've heard in a long time, and please give Kara our best, will you? And
I'm going to see her, I'm going to hang out with her tomorrow in the hospital. I will, but we got the light. As long as she is approved for a heart, we're good. And she is, she's going to get the gift of life, which is amazing.
Yeah, Chuck, that's incredible. Yeah, that is just absolutely beautiful. Hey, Chuck, before I let you go, I know that you heard the hello. Physically, as you were going through this with Dr. Macklin, what did you feel physically?
I initially, for a billy millisecond, felt scared, but I'm so into the thought of aliens and ETs. Earlier in the show, when I was out actually walking the dog, and the doctor was saying, they don't want to reveal themselves to somebody who's going to be scared. I'm out walking around going, well, how come you haven't showed it to me? Meaning I'm so excited for whatever happens. So anyway, after that first split second of, oh my gosh, there's something about to happen, it immediately went to this overwhelming sense of more, if that makes sense. I wanted more, okay, hello, I got you, more, kind of a thing. I was scared for a second. I think that's normal. But then I was like, but this is so cool, more. And then again, I then reached out. I went, yes, I can hear you, or whatever I said. And unfortunately it stopped. But I'm also going, well, hey, maybe that was a step one, a first little test. I don't know.
Hey, Chuck, are you saying that you're in your gravity chair, you're out on the patio, right?
Oh yeah, chilling.
Chilling. And you said out loud, "I hear you."
Absolutely.
Right on, man.
What did the neighbors say?
The whole world gave up questioning me being nuts a while ago. I just love to regularly verify it, man.
Yeah, right on, Chuck. You're the best. And hey, listen, give our love to Kara tomorrow, please, and tell her we said hello.
I will.
Hopefully she's listening right now. All right?
If not, I'm going to play this for her tomorrow.
Have a great night, man. Go Beckley Teppy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Doctor. And keep us informed when you're going to do this mass event, Doctor. I want to know more.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to talk about that right now. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Okay. All right, guys. Good night.
Go Beckley Teppy.
God bless. Go Beckley Teppy. I like that.
Yeah, that's what we do here. Dr. Macklin, how can everybody reach out to you?
Well, if you go on globalenlightenmentproject.com, globalenlightenmentproject.com, have a look at the website. We do healings by donation 3 times a week. We normally have a couple of thousand people, 3,000 people, through Facebook, through different things. You can join that. It's by donation. If you want to make a donation, great. If you don't, then that's okay. It's up to you. You can do one-to-one, specialized groups. We have a lot of other things going on as well. So have a look at the globalenlightenmentproject.com. We're not trying to push people into. we're trying to create a community where we can actually make some difference in this world, because it takes more than one person, And like I say, this project's huge. You might say, well, where the heck are you going to get $100 billion? Well, that's God stuff, and it's happening. I can tell you it's happening. First tranche of money should arrive in the next couple of weeks, and then off we go. We buy the land, we build it. The pyramids are built off planet. Can't tell you exactly about it because can't give too many secrets away, but they're being built off planet. They will start arriving one by one.
Wow.
They're on the Fibonacci curve, and it's going to be built on the ley lines, where the last one, the biggest, is going to inject the energy into the ley lines, which will really shift the planet. But they're not just like, if you look at the Giza ones, they were built by the Palladians. These are built by the Arcturians. They're very different, very, very much more powerful. So they're really going to help us down here.
Same proportions, maybe not the same size, but the same proportions.
Yeah, same proportions. One's 333 feet tall. Other one's 666 feet tall, and the other one's 999 feet tall. So it's multiples of Christ consciousness.
Yeah, I got you.
And they'll be on the Fibonacci curve. Smallest one is away from the ley line, then the next one is closer, and the other one on the Fibonacci spiral will be bang on the ley line, and they'll all connect together.
Well, keep us informed, and I look forward to the next time that you're on the show with us, and we can pick one subject and go deep.
I think we've talked about a lot tonight.
Yeah, it was a great conversation, and I really appreciate for you taking the time. And I got to give a special shout out to Donna. I know that she's listening right now.
Yay, Donna.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
She's absolutely amazing.
I love her, bless her.
Thank you so much, Chris, and enjoy the rest of your evening, man. It was just a wonderful show tonight.
God bless. Thank you for having me on. It's really, really kind of you. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you
I
so much.
love to all your staff as well.
Give me a Gobekli Tepe.
Absolutely. Gobekli Tepe.
Perfect.
Or as they say in England, let's have a tipple.
Have a great night. Thank you so much.
God bless. Thanks, Jimmy.
We went pole to pole. What a great conversation tonight. I want to thank everybody that called in, of course. And Twitter was absolutely on fire tonight. Man, the best. The Sandbox, the Fadernauts, everybody, thank you so much. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast on a copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm yours, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night is Thursday. You know what that means. It's open lines all night long. So until then, I want everybody to be safe. Gobekli Tepe.